Well, hello. Hello, my sister. Hello, everyone who's out there watching. Just
Hi,
want you to know, let me introduce myself. My name is Will Frazier, and you are.
I am your hostess, Shauna. How are you,
So,
sir?
Shauna, I'm doing real good. Real
I
good
feel
today. I was,
good,
I
but I want to let everybody see our little intro. How about that?
was. Really?
Well. So there you have it. There you have it. That's our intro. What you think? What you think? What you think? What you think? I like it. You like it?
I think it's beautiful.
I liked it. I liked it. You liked it. That means we coming up.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Just checking everybody in who's checking in. Oh, okay. So I shared it, so everybody's about ready to come in. So let's reintroduce ourselves. Will Frazier.
Okay. And I am the lovely Sean.
Sister, how you been this week?
This week was a roller coaster for sure.
Yes,
but,
yes. But you got a surprise for me?
I do have a surprise for you. But before I do that, I must say congratulations to all the graduates. Oh my God. They all graduated today.
Isn't that then Barack, the 44th president, gave the commencement speech to everybody? I think they talked about it. He gave the commencement speech, right?
Today?
Yeah, I saw something. He was going to be on ABC, NBC. Matter of fact, I think it's on now, or I think it came on earlier. But he's going to, give the commencement speech for the class of 2020. And also on Fox, they're going to have Pharrell. They're going to have some other celebrities giving the 2020 class their due. And while we have this platform, I just want to say, class of 2020, congratulations. Even though right now we're in a crazy time right now with the social distancing and all that, I just want to say that your efforts was not in any way ignored.
No, it was not.
It's unfortunate that things happened the way they are, but I just want to commend each and every graduate of 2020 that thank you for sticking in. Thank you for doing what you do best, and God bless you and into your journey where you graduate from high school, preschool, college, wherever your next journey and next step is. Just remember God is with you. And again, congratulations, class of 2020.
So
ain't no long speech, but I give you that.
I have some graduates that I need to recognize. So my little cousins, they did that. Shanice Frazier, my boo, came up out of St. Joe's U with her master's degree. I'm just saying. Then
what she get a master's in?
I don't know what the master's was in, but she got it. So
that's all that matters.
Then we got my boo-boo, my little boo-boo, my little god sister Chantel, my Shanny boo. She graduated.
Congratulations.
Today. She's a nurse. We got a nurse in the family, y'all. And the crowd goes wild. And then I have some wonderful people that I go to church with. She graduated. Felicia graduated today, and she graduated. She's going into, I believe, I want to say neurology, some type of science-wise, whatever. But yeah, but there's a lot of graduates that we know, and we want to let you guys know that we're going to have a special graduations for you too.
Yes.
What happened is you or your parents will send us your pictures. And you would tell us, what you're graduating from. If you want, you could say what school you're graduating from or, wherever. And then we will make sure that when we have our honorary graduation for you, that you will also be able to be acknowledged for your special achievement. So, with that being said, all graduates of 2020, this is for you and all that you have done. And don't think we taking it lightly. We just trying to be excited for you because you did that. Quarantine and all. You that. All of you that went out, I just don't know what to say. And I have a special one from Arcadia Beauty. If you listening, booby, congratulations to you too, baby girl. We have a psychiatrist in the house. So, you know, when I have my moments, I can go sit on the couch and be like,
You need that. I don't need it. I'm perfectly sane.
excuse me. Don't put me out there like that. For real? Did you really just put me out there?
I'm the sane one.
Just saying, like, hold up. Are you trying to say I need mental? I need mental, or I have a mental problem? What you trying to say, brother?
Not you.
You just said I needed that.
No, I said, just to help you out along the way.
What? Wait a minute. Did you just say you'll help me along the way? Like, really? You coming at my neck like this? Hold up. I know you're not doing this to me. Like, really? You ain't doing this to me. I know you're not. As I said, congratulations, graduates. You deserve it. And we
move the emoji. Move the emoji. Everybody needs.
Clean it up.
Clean
it up.
Even me.
Yes, you do. I think you need more hours than I do on that couch. I'm just saying. Well, come at me.
Anybody out there who's watching, they probably agree with you.
That you need it more than I do?
I am a crazy.
Yeah, you is. And you crazy for going online, going base me like that. For real? Did you really do that? Talking about basing somebody, you just upset my whole soul.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say
my whole soul. My whole soul. But that's all right, because guess what? I got an announcement. I have a huge announcement. You want to know my announcement is?
I'm waiting for you. You said you got a surprise for me.
I do. So do you want to know what it is?
Always.
Always?
Always.
Just don't sing it, okay? You promise not to sing it?
I can't sing, so I'm not.
Hallelujah.
Always and forever.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, please.
Okay. All right. Be the same.
Hush.
Don't that sound like a little Prince?
No, you don't. No.
I don't sound like Prince?
No, stop. You messing up. No. Don't do that. No. Don't do that.
I thought I was like
No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. I'll shut up. I'll wait for the announcement. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stop singing.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I almost can't contain myself. Guess what? We got Kim. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, can you believe it? Just hold on for a minute. We got Kim. Did you hear who we got? Did you hear who we got? No, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand.
I do.
I don't think you understand what we got.
I do understand.
No. I just don't think you understand. You don't understand. Did you hear what we got? I don't think you understood. Guess who we got?
Say it again.
You want me to say it again?
Say it again.
I'm gonna say it again. Hold on. I'm gonna say it again. Hold on. Say it again.
And I'm gonna listen.
You're gonna listen real loud and clear, okay?
Gotcha.
Loud and clear. Okay. If I can get her to come on, is she gonna come on? Let me see. I think she's gonna come on. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Oh, are we having technical difficulties? I almost can't contain myself. Guess what? We got Kim. Yes, can you believe it? We got Kim.
Wow.
We got Kim.
There she go.
That's who we got. We got her. We got Kim. We got Kim. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I can't contain myself.
Yes.
What? We got Kim. Yes, can you believe it?
Yes.
We got Kim screaming from the rooftop. We got Kim. Yes. We got Kim. I'm so excited. We got Kim. Can you believe it? She's on the Sister Act. Harmony City on the panel. Yes. Her, the boss lady. Yes. The magnificent. Sassy. One in charge. Ontario Kim Wilson. We got Kim. We got Kim. We got Kim. On how to fix your crown and know your worth. We got Kim. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, permanently on the panel, Sister Chant, we got Kim. So yes, that's it. That's it. We got Kim. Yes, we got Kim. Can you believe it? We got Kim. Like seriously, we got Kim. Can you believe it? I'm so excited. I'm like,
all I have to say is that was good. That was major.
That was major. I'm so excited.
That was major. That was major.
Yes, I like truly. I can't believe it.
So she's gonna be on Sisters Chat with you.
Yep.
And she's coming to the team. So Miss Kim Ontaria Wilson.
Yep, Kim Ontaria Wilson.
Kim Wilson.
I don't know who's more excited, the computer or me, because it wouldn't let me shut it off.
I think the computer is a little bit more exciting.
So.
But we are all the computer, me and you are all excited. For all those who don't know who Miss Wilson is, break it down who Miss Wilson is.
So Miss Ontaria Wilson, she's the artist, producer, artist. She's also a playwright. She's also, I did say director. She's a dancer. She's a teacher. She also has, I forget what the name of it is, but it's like a life coach.
Yes.
So she's all of that in one little package. Like she got all that going on. She's very well known as actress and director as well as co-director for many projects. My most favorite is Detox, and I can't wait to show and talk about detoxing, because I believe once we really get out there about what detox is about, I believe it could be really beneficial for people to know, because especially right now in quarantine, because with detox, it means you have to stop everything, put everything up, put everything away. And when you're putting everything away, it's like now we have to have a conversation. Now we have to interact with each other. And we're used to texting each other to interact, but when we get in one-to-one, we can't do it.
No, we can't.
I can't talk to you one-on-one, but I can text you all day. Okay. We can't.
Is that crazy?
We can't sit at the table and eat together, but we can eat together, but at different places in the room and all that other good stuff. So, she really broke that play down. Like she totally ripped that thing apart. And I really want to have her come and talk about that, but she has so much more to offer. So when she called me to say that she was going to be on the team, I was like, "You are on the team." She's like, "No, I'm going permanently." I was like, I did my little excitement, scream, holler thing.
Of course.
And then, so yeah, I was excited.
So you know what? That was That's like I said, that is major.
Yep.
Because you know what? Earlier this week, as everyone knows who's on my Facebook page, and you too, my sister, two things was important this week. Two, thank you for the greetings, you know, because you know I made it past the 9-year mark, you know, being married and stuff like that. Thank you, sister, for your beautiful greetings, and thank everyone else because my anniversary was a few days ago, and the anniversary of our first show, which was April 15th,
Yes.
2020. And I was just reminiscing about when we first started out. We was on Instagram. And remember I came late, and remember we kept having Instagram was fading in and out and all that stuff like that. And I was like, why is Instagram tripping? And we thought people wasn't watching us, but at the end, everybody was popping in and popping out. My daughter popped in. A couple other friends of mine popped in. Your family popped in. My family popped in. Everybody was popping in, and it was so beautiful. That first Instagram, you know, show that we did, and I was feeling so bad afterwards. But I think I was talking about the Bible. But anyway, but we weren't the only one, because remember that was the same night. Whatever. That was the same night that Babyface and Teddy Riley was supposed to do that battle.
They did.
Yeah, I felt bad, but they had real battles. They had real technical difficulties.
See,
so I don't feel so bad.
Was also wrapped up in some, you know, glasses that had some red stuff in it.
Really? Do you know what that looks like?
Yeah, you know, because we clicked on a guest and you clicked off and went on your own hiatus on your page and started jamming without us. And I'm like, okay, how he go on his page and start jamming with the music and left us?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I had to get warmed up.
So
I had to get warmed
up. The drink, like really, you were so excited about the drink, so you just forgot about your sister that was standing. That was standing at the bus stop waiting for you to come pick me up.
I never forget about you. You know that.
Always do.
No, I didn't. It was technical difficulties. It was Instagram and it was Instagram. Well, we did good though. So here's where we are today. 1 month later.
1 month later. You know what? I must say. I have to give you some kudos, brother. I do, because I didn't go that far as to say it was been a month. So like, you know what? He married. My brother married. Yes, he is, because he did the married thing. Because only married people know how important it is to remember dates. You know what I'm saying? And
9 years, 1 month.
I love my brother, y'all. I do. But
I love you too. But we like Tom and Jerry. Somebody gotta be Tom. Somebody gotta be Jerry.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you coming at my Afro puffs? Are you trying to say
no?
Are you coming at my Afro puffs? I got my yo-yo thing going on. I rock rough and tough with my Afro puffs. Hey.
Well, look what I got though.
Bad self. Seriously,
look what I got.
Y'all see how you do me? Y'all see how you do me? He comes at my hair. Are you kidding me?
Are you crazy? I would never talk about
the Jerry. Everybody you can even think about. What you say?
You got that early Aretha Franklin, Angela Davis, power to the people look. I respect that. Matter of fact, your hairstyle is so revolutionary. It's like remember the old days of Soul Train back in like 70, 71? Everybody was rocking that. And you're just bringing it back. You're bringing it back. Okay, all right. That's cool.
That's how I feel about this. Like, really? You really going to tell me I'm bringing back the day?
But that's what was needed. But hold on. The 1 month anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a person who's going to be on the show, Miss Ontario Wilson. Thank you, Miss Wilson. She was one of our guests. She was on Sister Chat. We had Miss Tracy, the line dance queen, Tracy, Miss Stilettos.
Yes.
We had the manager extraordinary, legendary Don DaCosta. We had the living legend from Frankie Lyman in the Teenagers, Mr. Jimmy Merchant. Thank you. We had I can't pronounce her last name. It starts with a W. Did I say it right? Wanda?
Juanita.
Juanisha, correct. She was on the sister chat.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, the missing, well, he's not missing, he's always with us in spirit. Our brother from another, but still family, Mr. Ted Frazier.
Are you talking about Teddy Bear Teddy? We miss our Teddy Bear Teddy.
Teddy is that glue. And you know what? It's been a good month. I mean, all serious.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So I don't know if this is my niece or if this happened to be my sister, but I know she didn't tell me I wasn't in my yo-yo look. Remember when Yo-Yo first came out with the Afro Puffs and she did it for that video? And she
was Lady of Rage. That was Lady of Rage. Yo-Yo got the Afro Puffs later. But Yo-Yo did have them, but Lady of Rage did that though. And Aretha Franklin.
No, she didn't.
And Angela Davis.
No. The rap. That rap. Yo-Yo did that one. She said, I rock rough and tough with my Afro Puffs.
That's Lady of Rage.
Are you sure?
Look it up.
Are you sure?
Come on. Lady of Rage. She was down with Snoop and them.
All right. Well, regardless, Yo-Yo did come on the show and she did have some puffs. And
she agreed
on the side.
She did agree. Lady of Rage.
So whatever, Serena. I don't care. I really don't care. Like personally, I really don't care. Huh.
But Shauna, you good. You look good. Stop.
I can rock it like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah, you cool. You cool. You just bringing it.
I don't like neither one of you. I don't like neither one of you.
She said, rock on with your bad self.
Yeah, right. Y'all too, Sagittarius. It's a Sag thing. They're jumping me. It's a Sag thing. Serena,
no.
Serena, and Will is a Sag thing, and y'all jumping me. Y'all jumping me.
No.
Y'all did.
Sagittarius.
Y'all did.
Best in the West.
Y'all did.
Scorpio.
So on that note, going back.
Scorpio.
So going back. So going back in the day, talk about what we need. Don't ever underestimate the quiet one in the room.
Let it rock.
400 years. They lasted this morning. They're also going to last tonight, and you may not even know the person to whom you're going to have the relationship with. But they do tend to go over. Relationships do go over like that. And as we move into what has happened to this, I know that our relationships sometimes really reach a low ebb. That's one of the reasons why we wrote the book, How to Find and Keep a BMW, a Black Man Working. That was spelled out in there. This is very serious. Because our relationships didn't start yesterday or last week. It also started 400 years ago when those 19 persons were here. And I want you to remember something very important that one of our by any means necessary power brokers told us, and that was Malcolm X. He said, if we can only remember that you didn't land at Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on you. And it's very essential that we kind of keep this in place. And knowing that these are the things that happen, then we have to move more to change it. See, we have a system that would not like to see black males and black females together. They would not like to see that happening at all. Because once we come together, they understand the power of the strength of the black woman, the queen of the universe. They know that, her strength. They also know the power of the black male, the warrior. If you would turn him loose, he will protect also his family and things that need to be done. And because they understand that if our relationships are together, then they will lose. But if our relationships are torn up, then we can forever be treated in certain ways by the oppressors. That's why they gave us something called integration, which is nothing but the illusion of inclusion. They gave us this. They actually gave that statement. And when they gave that statement, It meant that they could go right into your homes. They went into the black homes now, the powers that be, and told us that you cannot discipline your children anymore. And if you discipline your children, you were going to jail. Is this kind of thing they told us? Now, this is amazing that, you know, the black parents who in Africa, that was out of the question. Some social worker come in there saying you can't discipline your children, the social worker would disappear. As you all know, this kind of thing would go on. You would be sitting in a place like this, and all you had to do was act up and do something wrong, and all your mother had to do was to glance in your direction. Y'all remember that? And you remember that the glance meant, don't let me have to get up and come over there. And every once in a while in the black family, there was a fool who would challenge the glance. And if you could get home over the foot, over the ironing card, over whatever, you were sent to the backyard to get something off the peach tree. And if you brought something in that was too short, God forbid that you would do something like that. But then it got so terrible and frightening us. This is why we got to take this back. And this is the best part of our action plan, is to reclaim the minds of our children. Because then they went into the public schools and took discipline out of there. So when we acted up in there, they put our boys, our black men, into something called special ed classes. And as you know, those special ed classes are nothing but holding cells until they can go to the state prison. But this is what they did. And then, the one thing that they knew, that if we can put them in prison, if we can have them convicted for a felony, then once they get out of prison, they cannot get a job because of that. They cannot get the job. And then if they happen to eke out and find a job, then they have to pay taxes on a job, yet they cannot vote. And I call that taxation without representation. That's what we're looking at. And if one of the things that we would learn to do, they did a grand thing when they took that discipline away from us, because when they made our parents afraid to discipline the children, then what happened? We found out that the teachers were afraid of the principals were scared of the superintendents was scared of the school board was scared of the parents were scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody.
And look.
And now for the last statement, the reason why we're so pleased to have the covenant, it makes all of this type foolishness stop. It's going on under Angela Glover in San Francisco. It's all over the country. And they're all saying, we finally have a movement where we can take back over the minds of our children. And the first thing we got to take over, the covenant taught us that we do not have to have black leaders anymore. It told us because everyone in this room is empowered to be a black leader. Everyone in this room.
But on a serious note, to the extent
So, that was on a serious note. Like, seriously, that was on a serious note. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
She was like,
you know what? You know what? She brought something up about the one that challenged the look. I did that too with my grandma and my mother.
We all did.
I didn't do it to my dad. I didn't do it to my
was the
dad.
main
I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't do it to my dad. I'm gonna tell you why. Remember the TV show Good Times? You know James Evans?
Yes. Yes.
You know that belt, that belt he used to have? They were real live belts. And my mom, oh God rest my mom's soul. You know what? My mom set me up. I'm gonna tell you why. Shauna,
Wow.
my mom, I always did something stupid in school. You know, always disrupting class and just playing around being a class clown. Now remember, the school I went to, my house was across the street. Okay.
Okay.
So every time that I do something, the teachers know my mom. They know what time my mom come home, because you know my mom always waited for me to cross the street. And the teachers, oh God, used to, whichever class I cut up in, they knew my mom. Went across the street, told my mom what would happen, what I did in school. I'm coming across the street all feeling good, and then I see the teacher right there on the doorstep, dry snitching. And I'm like, oh damn. My mom would look at me and be like, Reese, get your ass in here and do your homework. Just like that. I come in, I'm like, Mom, I said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So that's what we go to school for? I said, no, Mom, I didn't do it. Oh, you didn't do it? Well, ever since you've been in such and such grade, your excuse has always been you ain't do it. But I got something for your ass today. So I'm like, you do? Because, you know, my mom, you know, don't get it twisted. My mom, when she whooped my ass, and I'm going to say it, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, when women, you know, had them pocketbooks, they was the 70s. They had them pocketbooks and they had the leather straps attached to it. My mom used to unhook that shit and beat my ass with it. That shit hurt, right? So I did my homework, got my ass whooped by my mom, and I'm like, damn, my mom whooped my ass. So I thought that was enough. Go to your room. I go in the room, ass hurting, because my mom, I used to like roll over the bed. Let me tell you something about black mothers. All that rolling over the bed, running shit, that ain't work. My mom would close the door. I think I'm running. My mom, I like fall on the floor. My mom jump on the bed, whooping my still whoop my ass. So after I got my ass whooped, I'm like, you know what? That's enough. That's enough. So after I'm laying in the bed, like crying, like, you know, I cried so she won't like, you know, it was done. 6 o'clock comes, my dad walking in the door.
Uh-oh.
Dad walks in, hey, what's going on? And my bedroom was on top of the kitchen. So I would hear my mom and dad talk. And my dad's like, he did what? Oh, he did. Oh. Oh, that's what we doing? I'm looking like, what the hell? I already got my ass whooped. So my dad will come upstairs, have his beer in the hand. Their room was in the front room. I was in the back room. My dad walked straight upstairs to the back room where I was at. My dad would walk in the back, open the door, because I turned the light out so nobody wouldn't bother me. My dad opened that door, turned the light on, beer in his hand. He'll just look at me and be like, so, we just can't get it together, can you? I'm like, Dad, I didn't do anything. He said, what did I see you in school for? To learn. So you ain't get it through your head yet? Dad, I did learn. Your mom whooped your ass, huh? Yes, yes. All right. After dinner, me and you gonna have a conversation. What? It wasn't talking. So let me tell you something. After dinner, I hurried up and ate my food. I was the first one upstairs. My dad took his time eating his food. Because my dad, you know, whatever, he took his time eating his food. I said, good. He's downstairs eating, washing dishes, put the trash out, la, 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 la. Cool. That ain't work. After he finished, he would come right on upstairs. Because he used to watch Starsky and Hutch, all his shows and shit. Come right in the back room, have his belt out, and to commence to whooping my ass. And my dad whooped my ass so bad that I fucking hated my goddamn teachers. I wanted to go to school and strangle them. I got my ass whooped not once with the leather pocketbook strap, but I got my ass whooped by my dad's James Evans belt. What the fuck? But you know what? As I think about it now, I'm glad that happened, because eventually I got tired of the ass whoopings. And like I said, you know, when you get your ass whooped, I mean, you leave little marks on your ass. Oh God, couldn't sit down. I got tired of so many ass whoopings. I said, let me go to school and get my shit together. And over the years, I became a better student because I didn't want to have to face the leather strap. My mom didn't give a fuck if I was a teenager or not. Leather strap and my dad's James Evans belt, which in the 80s, it wasn't no more belt. He used to have a little wooden board. He used to call it a panel. He used to put tape around that shit. And when he hit you with that shit on my ass, that shit leave my ass all red. I'm like, you know what? This is child abuse. Let me get my shit together. So you see my dad be like, hey, Pop, how you doing? And my dad's, you know, older. He's like, hey, how you doing, daughter? And tell my son the same thing. I love Pop, and that's a good thing. But when I was being raised by Pop beat the hell out of my ass.
You know what? That grandmom card, man, I be looking like the stuff that you allow as grandma. I couldn't even get down the steps, and it was 13 steps. With me pulling that mess off, I was on the second from the top of the 13. So I was on step 12 coming down to 1. How about I went from 12 to 1? You know,
right?
Hold on. If I would have did that, had I did that, lost it.
Curtains.
But you talk about the whippings. I had it bad because my daddy was a country boy. So he knew about the switches. He knew about the switches. And we had a switch. We had a thorn tree. We had a thorn plant in our yard. We the only one on the block that had a rose tree, bush, whatever you want to call it, in our yard. And people used to think it was because it was so beautiful and my dad liked roses. No, my daddy was a country boy. And because he didn't have the trees that he had down south, he brought them to Philly. And we had to deal with that. But my eye game was with grandma. Is that my boyfriend? Is that my boyfriend? Oh, you tell my nephew he better come back and love up on his auntie. Oh, y'all see how they get? Oh my goodness. When he was younger, I could all girlfriend, kissing. Now he be doing the.
Say hi, Shauna.
Hi.
Oh, you got no love for your auntie tonight, huh?
You got love for Aunt Shauna?
Oh, you got to think about it. You better walk out of there. Get out of here. Wait till I see you. It's like popcorn. Don't give me no kisses either. See, he's just like a typical boyfriend. He just leave me. That's because he got a girlfriend in kindergarten. I already know. But you know what? But mine was my grandma. Man, me and my grandma. Woo! She would give me that eye, and she would give me the eye from the choir stand. And I would think that because she was on the choir stand, she couldn't come get me. So I'm in the pew, all the way in the back of the church, and she giving me the eye. And I'm giving her the eye back. And she gave me the eye like, you better not be giving me that eye back. And I'm looking at her like, yes, I am giving you the eye back. Now, she was a woman that played the grandma card and the mommy card. She was like, no. She didn't say, oh, she's just so cute. She was like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. All right. Wait till I cute you're behind when I get home. And hunty, I'm just saying. Woo! Back in the day when I was back in the regular. But you know, I sometimes say that's what I believe our youth miss today. Those grandmoms, that bit of ingredient of grandma. And I understand that some of the disciplinary actions that we done and we dealt with as children back then, we took it out thinking that it was too rough We didn't like it. I'm not treating my kids like that. But it turned out making us kind of better people. And then my opinion, not no one else's fact, just my opinion. Like, I want to make sure y'all know who that was. That was Dr. Julia Hars. And she happened to pass. That was the late. She passed.
I heard.
She passed. And I was so hurt because I was like, oh, I'm going to reach out to her and see if we could talk to her. And it was like expired. I was like, oh. But anyway, what she said had a lot to do with it. And when we just sit back and think about it, that's what happened. And you know, like I said, you know, sometimes we get so built up and caught up in what they're telling us till we forget to think for ourselves, and we allow them to think for us and scare the hell out of us. And by they scaring us, they do things and put things in place that's not better for us. You know, we allowed them to come in and tell us how we're supposed to raise our kids. And then when our kids didn't have that ingredient from raising, and now they up there out of control, going all and doing all, then we want to say, well, where's the parents? Well, when you didn't allow us to parent, this is what happens. So you created this monster. And by you creating this monster, now all of a sudden you want to charge me money to put them in these little systems, mind you, what they call them as little prisons, and they slave-fy them, which y'all don't want to believe slave-fy them. And I say as a slave-fy only because you're in there working for pennies and cents to put on your books. Last time I recall somebody working behind any type of building, wasn't that a back in the day situation too?
Yeah, it was.
And they worked and was paid for what they were doing, right?
Correct.
So, you know, just because it's not cotton we picking and we doing drop plates and we doing sneakers and we doing whatever else in there that we're making, I applaud the ones that get locked up that goes and become educated, because when they get out there, they ain't got to go back in there and then they can know what they're doing to us. I'm just saying, that's just my input. And with my input, but with my input being, I mean, you can't get mad at us because you didn't allow us to do what we were doing with our job, with our children. Granted,
correct.
I know there were some people, I know there were some people out there that did things, and they did things that required a law to be placed, but it should not have been a law that reflect all. And that's what they do. They categorize the laws. Okay, all of y'all gonna do it. What does Sarita say? Do you see what Sarita said on that screen? I'm sorry.
She said, my daughter told her girlfriend the other day, you are lucky. You don't have my mom. Ooh. You need to come to my house for a weekend. You will be so different. You know what? Remember episode, I don't know if people could remember, but the ones that can remember, there was an episode in Good Times where Michael brought home this guy who was bullying him, and he brought him in the house. He was going to help him study. So just because he, you know, bullied people out in the street and all that stuff like that, he thought he can come into the household and, you know, do what he wanted to do. Little behold, he ran into James Evans. Okay. So he thought he could, you know, be all sassy and talk any way he wanted to and put his feet on the table, until James like, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to learn some respect coming in this house. And he didn't listen. So what did James Evans do? Take him, took him in that back with the belt. Damn that belt. Closed the door, and he beat the hell out of him. And Michael, JJ, Thelma, and Florida was outside. If you remember, they was up there shaking, talking about the levity of that ass whooping he was getting, because he was ow, ow, ow. Today, they don't have that. Okay? No. Today, kids will tell you, because you know when we was coming up, when we used to see white kids, okay, say, and I used to see it, they say, come on, let's go this way. Oh, fuck you. I used to be like, wow. They said, fuck you? And their mom be like, look, you're not going to talk to me that way. You're not going to talk to me that way. Man, if I said something like that to my mom at that age, if I would have said, phew, I've been on the ground, I probably won't have no teeth. There you go. But they took that because, like you just said, the discipline, like the switch, the disciplinary acts that we had, the so-called law said we can't do that. So what happens is kids feel that they could come in your house, eat your food, use your electricity, use your water, stay up all night, eat your food, and you try to give them some structure. They're like, puh, you can't touch me because I'll call the cops. A neighbor on my parents' block, I never forget it, Mr. Taylor, he passed. Teenage son, that's when all this shit was happening. He, he came in, he was smoking ganja. And his father said, listen, you're not going to be bringing that in the house. So he got on his father's face. But, Mr. Taylor was a big dude. He said, don't you ever get in my face. I never forget it. We talked about this. He got his, Dad, I don't give a fuck. When he said that, Mr. Taylor, he beat him down. And he beat his ass so bad that the neighbor next door, ear hustling, called cops. Philly police came, right? Came in. He ran outside. Talk about, my dad, he abused me. He this and that. So the cops went in the house like, sir, what the hell happened? He told them word for word what he did, how he came in the house, how he disrespected them. You know what Philly cops said?
Good.
Yo, tell you what, we ain't got to put this on paper. You go about our business. Just make sure you turn down the noise. If you want, you can take him in the basement. Because guess what? That was my fucking son. I did the same thing. Bravo! So today, these kids feel that they could do whatever they want. No. And then what happens, like you said, when they fall into that trap, which is the revolving door of the justice system, which me and you always talk about, we shouldn't have our young men or young women even going there. It is, and like I said, it's structured. In West Coast, they got gangs. Up here, they got gangs. Everybody's searching for structure, and they're looking on the wrong places. So parents can't do nothing. And then the audacity is, it's not just the kids' fault, but you got parents who want to be just like their kids. I just did not take a drink with my father, Shauna, until I was in my 40s, okay? Because it was that level of respect we have our parents. My dad ain't my homeboy. My mom ain't my homegirl. We don't hang out, smoke weed, hang in clubs. But some parents want to do that today because they feel that's what parents need to do today. But only thing you're doing is just taking out the authority. You're not saying no structure. You're not guiding them the right way. All you want to be is like them. And they are unguided. And you're acting unguided with them. So when you try to say something like, I told you don't do it, they're looking at you like, shit, who the fuck is you? You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to pause. Let you finish that out.
Look. So my situation is this. So y'all know I had two. One is 5'11". He might be 6 feet now. Weighing in at 2 something. Looking like he belonged on the Eagles defense team. Then we have my oldest son, who is 6'4". So me being 5'8", 5'7", they want to look down on mommy and call mommy shorty roll. Mind you, I am big for a woman, so they took height after me on my side. But I had to remind them that I'll cut you off at the knees and bring you down and make you say please. And then you don't have to worry about calling the cops because I'm going to call them. And the neighbors can call DHS all they want because by the time DHS put them in the car and get down to the end of the block, they're going to be like, you know what? Send them back. And I'm like, no. Take them. I'm good. Take them. But the only thing about that, like I said, I've seen some parents that felt like I can relate better to my child if I talk to my child and I have to talk to him. But if you had a child that was anything like me, talking didn't work. I was from the Missouri kids. You had to show me. You had to give me some type of example for me to remember. Oh, last time I pulled this off, this went this way. I'm not trying to go that way no more. You know? But and our thing was, we had to really sit back and understand what were they really doing when they did that. And what they were really doing when they did that was they were really setting us up. They made us think that they was helping us. Because they were, oh, they do this, we're going to put them there. That's where you wanted them to go anyway. But you had to make it seem like it was that was our idea. And when they sit there and they play the idea situation, then we get caught up in it. And then we wonder why we allowed this to happen. Well, you got in your feelings, or you got your situation, and your mind was all over the place till you didn't really recognize what was really going on. So when you're not really thinking about what's going on, you move. Like this quarantine thing. Everybody's running outside because they see everybody else outside. So they're like, well, it must be safe. Everybody else out there. No, they just didn't tell y'all who else is being affected by being out there.
Right.
We still need to be having on our mask and being distant. But y'all want to be so anxious to die to go outside. Y'all just dying to go outside. And y'all going to end up dying because y'all went outside. I don't mean, look, I'm just direct. Again, my opinion, not making it no one else's fact. But I will say this. Wake up and recognize what you're allowing people to do to you. Like we said that other time. They were sitting there talking about some Murphy Law. They're not listening. Get the cops to sit in front of their door. Why are you telling people how to handle you? Don't do that. First of all, now, I have some white friends, and they're kind of better friends to me than them, our people. But there's a difference. I don't like I'm not saying all of them are bad. We have some that are them, but then you got the supremacies. So that's what we're going to talk about. There is a difference between the white people and white supremacies. There is a difference. We can't categorize all of them together. Just like we don't like to be categorized, they don't like to be categorized either. Correct. And I remember that same situation where my friends was like, yo, your mom look like she don't play. Don't even attempt to try to see if she do. Leave her right over there in that car. And I remember all of them, hey, Miss Evelyn, coming out of West Catholic High School. All of them, the white, the black, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Jamaicans, all of them in the school, they knew about Shauna's mother. They knew so much about Shauna's mother. So when I got to the school, it must have been a wanted sign on the door to all nuns to let them know I was coming in, because I was walking down the hall, and before she could even say, before I could even tell who I was, she said, excuse me, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the lunchroom. And she said, is this your lunch period? I was like, yes. She said, what is your name? I was like, Shauna. She said, from Our Mother of Sorrows? I was like, yes. Sister Sheila was your principal? I was like, yes. She was like, oh, you go right on ahead. And I was like, okay. Now I'm looking like, why would she know me? And I remember my mother went to the principal, and the principal was trying to give my mom some yang, yang, yang. And my mom let her know that she don't know how it was to be us. And since she wants to know, she was going to drag her up and down the street until she become the color of the street. And then send her back to the convent. Never mess with my mother again. But my mother must have put out a memo to the point that everywhere I went, everybody know who I was. But back in the day, that was good to know, because when you cut up, you knew that Mrs. So-and-so was at the corner. And if you turned the other corner, Mr. So-and-so was there. So between there and there, if you cut up, it got back home before you got home. And they were standing at the door like, oh, so that's what you do? That's how you do this? That was like that was like our own, that was like our hashtag. Like they have hashtag. That was their hashtag. This is what you do. And the head. And don't let you be in the house and get in trouble with all the relatives is in the house when you got in trouble. Because then you had to line it up and catch your behind whipping from every last one of them that was in the house. And then this fight,
our family.
Then this fighting thing. Here go the fighting thing. I think that was a Frazier tree. Here's the fight.
Yeah,
You're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. If you believe that you could pick up a gun and end somebody else's story and don't think that you just didn't start your story from getting shut down too. Because there's a thing called retaliation versus it's coming from somebody's family or if it's coming from the man above. When you work for the enemy and you allow the enemy to drive you as a vehicle, best believe you me, not only will he give you the authorization to bite and fire someone else, he's going to turn around and bite and fire you too. And if you don't believe that, you pick up a gun and you end somebody else's life and watch now somebody's going to end your life. They're going to end your life either in prison or you're going to end your life on a gun. Two of the things is going to happen. But the thing about that is, back in the day, we went head to head, fist to fist, and you fought that mess out, period. And it wasn't like you didn't win. You just kept coming at it until finally, you know what? We're going to be dogs. How about that? All right, here you go. Look, it's over. I can't do this no more. You know what I mean? I remember I was like one girl, I had to lock her in the locker room. And it's so bad because to this day, she introduced me as that when we went to a wedding that she was there. And she's like, oh, Mom, this is Shauna. She's like, you remember Shauna from West Catholic? And she was like, no, I'm not sure. She said she was the one that locked me in the locker room when we was fighting. She literally put me in the locker. And I'm like, why, after how many years are you still remembering me as the girl who shoved you and stuffed you in the locker? I stuffed her in the locker because she wouldn't stop. And I didn't want to fight her. I didn't want to fight, but she kept pushing me. So I beat her up again and pushed her into the locker. And I said, think about it. And I walked away and I locked the door and I walked and sat in my class like nothing happened. So the nuns came to me and was like, Shauna, come here, please. And they're like, did you just lock somebody in the locker room? I said, yes. They said, and then you locked them in the locker? I said, yes. She said, do you know that, something could have happened to her? I said, no, we got air vents in the locker. She could breathe. And she was like, but why did you do that? I said, because she wouldn't stop fighting me. She wanted to keep fighting. But once she came out the locker, once they got her out, she stopped fighting me after that point. And nobody else wanted to fight me after that because they was like, all right, we not. But it's like once you beat that one, that was it. So stop using what they want us to use to kill ourselves for them. I'm going to say it again. Stop using what they gave us to use to kill us for them. Do I need to say it again?
One more time.
Stop using what they gave us to kill us for them.
You know what? That's a funny story that you said about the locker room. I remember fourth grade, fifth grade. See, I wanted to be a peaceful kid, because I heard that fighting, and it is a Frazier thing, fighting was not always so good, okay? So my mom, tell a teacher if you have to. My dad was total opposite. Fuck all that. That's my dad. So one day, my dad came home from work, and he came up the block, and I didn't know my dad saw me. It was this kid, I'll never forget it, named Doran Mills. He was walking behind me, slapping me in my head, pushing me, hitting me, pushing me. Now, remember, the house is right across the street. Slapping me, pushing me, and I just did not fight him. And everybody was like, oh, no, don't do that to Will. Don't do that. He like, oh, you're a punk, Frazier. You're a punk. So I just kept on walking. I did not turn around. And I just kept on walking. Unbeknownst to me that I mentioned a few minutes ago, my dad came home early and he came up the block. So when he was doing that, I'm crossing the street. He followed me like you, and you know our mouths is dirty back then too. He said, "You a little pussy." So I just ain't say nothing to him. So I'm walking to my house, and I look, and I see my mom and dad in the doorway. My mom is crying, arguing with my dad, like, "No, Sonny, no, no, no." My dad's like, "Fuck that. No son of mine is gonna be no in these streets. No son of mine." And I'm like, and the boy, and it was Boy Doran and a few other people like standing there looking like, what the hell? Because my parents are very loud. And my dad said, "No, fuck that. You know, my son ain't gonna be nobody." So my mom crying like, "Sonny, no, no, no." My dad turned and looked at me and said, "I'm gonna tell you this right now, Reese." He lifted up his shirt and his belt was there. He said, "You got two choices. You turn around, you fight that motherfucker, or you gonna fight me." I'm like, and my dad's big dude. I'm like, huh? Fight him or fight me? And my dad didn't give a fuck if I was his son or not. He was gonna beat my ass. Hospital, ER, or win or lose with this guy. Even the little girls around, and this one girl named Veronica, I never forget it. She went right up to me and grabbed my book bag off my back. And she was like, just turned and looked at me, and I'm like, all right. The boy that was doing it, he was scared because my dad scared him. But you know what? Two choices, fight my dad or fight him. You know what I chose, right? I turned my little ass around, shit out of him, and we was tussling all in the street. It got so bad, it used to be a rose. You've been to my parents' house. It used to be a bush. On our neighbors have a bush like right next door. We showing up, we was fighting, punching each other, rolling on the street. Then the neighbors was coming like, what the hell? We push each other in the road, in the bush. We was getting all scratched up. We ain't give a fuck because I was like, if I don't do anything, my dad's gonna beat my ass. So after we was getting scratched up and all that, my dad and one of the neighbors, Mr. Nate, God rest his soul, they came and broke it up. But I stood up for what I did. I felt good. I'm like, damn, that felt good. It felt good. So my mom like, Sonny, are you happy now? And I'm all talking all shit like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He all got blood because we all got scratched up. And he's like, I'm going to get you, Fraser. I'm going to get you. My dad and Mr. Nate let me go. And we went right to the corner. He's doing it again. And it broke us up. Then his mom came and, took him home and, blah, 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 all that shit like that. So everybody like, Reese, I'm feeling all good. I think my dad liked it and all that shit. So you know what happened to me when I went inside that house? And after I wiped my face off and say, are you proud of me? My dad took his butt and beat my ass anyway. You know why? He said, don't you ever let nobody put their hands in your face. Don't you ever let nobody do that shit to you again. He whooped my ass telling me what I better not do. I'm like, shit, well, I might as well not afford him and just got the ass whooping. But I understand what my dad was saying. You don't let no one take advantage of you. You stand up for what's yours. And that's why I'm so vocal today. You got ass whoopings too. And that's why you're so vocal today as well. And those ass whoopings helped. Because look at us. We're here. Hello, yay, right? Woo. But yeah, these kids ain't got that today. Sis, they ain't got it today.
So you gotta read it tonight because I ain't got my eyes on. I got my eyes in, but I ain't got my eyes on. Y'all know the eyes is just beautiful, but ain't nothing coming out these suckers. I can't see. So what does she say? What she say? No she win said, or you lose.
No win.
Fraser said you better win.
Fraser, you said you better win if you got beat in the house and pushed back out to fight again. That was true.
So wait,
Miss Reese Hall. Miss Reese Hall.
Yes, that's Rita Reed. That's my sister.
We got a guest that just jumped on. But yes.
Hey.
But yes, Reese, you are so right. It's a Fraser thing. And what that beating told me was this. Like I said, I should have stood up for myself from the beginning, but I was scared to fight back because I was told You know what I mean? Showing that
Right.
it was not right to do. Because my mom was like, I don't want you out there doing it because we grew up at some crazy times. I mean, all the stuff these kids do today, they couldn't survive in our era. I'm just telling you. We grew up in an era where crack. You understand what I'm saying? We grew up in an era where a lot of stuff they did that's out in the open now. I mean, we had a lot of stuff going on that was quiet back then.
Well,
But
wait.
today it's all out in the open.
But wait. So, Sarita not.
She said, I didn't get beat. I'm still outspoken. LOL.
Yeah, you know why she didn't get beat? Because she had me as an example. After mommy would beat my butt, and Sarita would see what happened to me, she'd be like, I remember Reese. Come on, Sarita, tell me. I remember one night my mom was coming after me because I was wrong. And my mom started stuttering because when she gets really upset, she starts stuttering.
Right.
And so Reese was like, yo, you better stop because you don't want to see the other side of midnight. I was like, what you talking about? She said, she's stuttering. So that means you better get ready to run. And that's why she didn't have to get no beatings because I got all the freaking beatings being the oldest. And she was like, yo, that's not going to happen to me. But talking about getting your butt beat and pushed back out. Oh my God. I never forget Ogden Street. Deborah was my friend by day and my enemy by night. To be played during the day, but then at nighttime she wanted to fight. And I never understood why did she always want to fight? We were just friends.
Right.
Well, and I didn't want to fight. We don't want to fight. That's Frazier's. We didn't want to fight, but we could fight. That was the thing. And the problem was we didn't want to fight because we knew what we were capable of if we did fight. And we didn't want nothing to happen, during the fight.
Right.
So, so then all of a sudden, what she say? Showing her head to learn the hard way.
You never learned.
I did.
You learned fast.
So going back to the story. So, Deborah wanted to fight. And I don't know why she wanted to fight. I can't even remember what we was fighting about. But at this point, I was like, I'm not fighting. I'm going in the house. So I went in the house and my cousin Frida was like, not today. That's not going to happen. You're going to go out there and kick her behind because if you don't, I'm going to kick you behind. Then Jackie stood up behind me and said, I'm going to kick you behind. Then Dondi stood up and said, I'm going to kick you behind. Then Marion said, I'm going to kick you behind. Now that's 4 Fraziers. That's great. Kick my behind because I was not going to fight her. Well, honey, when I saw 4 of them versus 1 of her, man, I whipped her so good. I even had the strength to pick up an empty tire. And at 12 years old or 10 years old, to pick up a tire was kind of heavy. I picked the tire up and I put her in it like she was a cartoon character and spun her around and was kicking her down the street. I was determined that she was not going to cause me to get my behind whipped. But like you said, I got back in the house and I still got whipped. Because they were like, don't you ever let nobody step up on you like that. But the thing about it was, after I did that, she no longer wanted to keep fighting me at nighttime. But, so us bringing that whole scenario back together was just to say, that's when we were not punks. That's when we were not cowards. That's when we stood neck to neck. But the thing about it today is we don't have no respect for each other. So we feel as though if I don't like what you're doing, because it's not what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you out. Or because you pissed me off because I don't like what you said, I'm going to take you out. Or I don't like the way you look, I'm going to take you out. Or you pissed me off, I'm going to take you out. But the only problem is when you play God and you decide to take somebody out, what do you think happens to you? Now you open up the chapter for you. And I just need people to understand that just because you pointing the gun that way, don't you see that the thumb is coming back at you to say you're next? See that little click back, when you pull the thing back and the thing come up and that little piece right there clicks back and it go like this and it keep going in and out for as many times as no matter which one you use, even if you use the little gun piece, your finger is pulling it back saying you. Come on now, when will we wake up and see that obvious? Now everybody gonna be like, did she really go out the block with that? Yeah, I did. I did. I went all the way out the block with that because I think about stuff like that. You got to think. And when you think, and when you don't allow your mind to be clogged by the different things that's going on, you be like, ooh. You know why we kind of not flipping out too bad about coronavirus? Because we were the nannies. And we were the nannies that used to clean up all the germs, and we knew what it did and what to do when it's time to clean up the germs.
Yeah.
So the younger generation that didn't have the mama that knew about the 3 6s, somebody, come on now, somebody hear me preaching something now. When we used to talk about the 3 6s, remember? That devil could kill and cure everything. And then when you got sick, you had Father John's. Remember Father John's?
I remember that. It's old school.
Okay. When it was time for the germs, when we had little viruses and stuff, they would say, put all your clothes in a trash bag, put it in and leave it in there for a couple of days so that the germs can be killed inside the trash bag. And then you put the trash bag, either you burn the clothes or you wash them in hot water 3 times. And after you wash them in hot waters with nothing but bleach and everything, that killed the germs. And then they would tell you grab all the teddy bears and everything because they held the germs and you threw them all away. That's how we killed germs and that's how we didn't let them spread. But what happened, y'all? Did we forget to tell them that? Did we forget how to do that? Like, okay, fine. This is a little more severe. This is a little more different, but the still fact remains because they tell you all you need to do is wash your hands in hot water and spray Lysol and wipe down and use gloves. So how strong is it?
Drink bleach. Drink bleach. Drink bleach.
Drink bleach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what Donald said.
Oh, you mean duck?
Duck.
That should tell you right
the same one.
That should wait. That should tell you right there. Duck. Bob and weave. Bob and weave. Talking about
the same person, same one that said that they had a plan, that the Obama-Biden pandemic plan was outdated. We have something, which is our plan, that covers all this. You know what? Oh, God. You know what, sis? You're right. We were the nannies. We were the butlers. That movie, The Help. I know that movie, The Help. And what's the one where the guy was a butler for all the presidents and stuff like that?
I know I can't remember the name. Help me out. I know y'all saw the movie. Help me out. What was the movie? He was the butler. He told the story. What was it? I think Oprah Winfrey was in it too, right?
He had all the presidents. I'm trying to think.
Was it called The Butler? I think what's the name of the movie was called The Butler. Was it called The Butler? Come on, y'all.
Oprah was in it. Oprah was in it.
Yeah, wasn't that called The Butler? I think that was what it was called. I think it was called The Butler. Come on now, y'all. Come on now. All right, so here go the cash prize. Here go the cash prize. Oh, somebody said
it was called The Butler. Yes. Thank you, Emmy the boss. Love you.
You were going to get the cash prize, but you answered before I could get it out there to say whoever get the answer, we're going to cash app them. So you didn't get me a chance to say it because you.
Don't worry, she gonna cash at my wallet. Don't worry about that. That's already taken care of.
Oh, she don't get. Y'all still celebrating. It's your anniversary. You know how to pay her. You better pay her tonight, Will. You better pay her. You better pay her.
Mm-hmm.
You better pay her. Pay me the ball. You gonna get it. Oh, you gonna have her screaming like Marvin Gaye.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying it, Emmy. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying nothing.
You want to be like, let's get it on.
I'm not saying nothing.
What's he gonna say, Emmy? Am I going to hear you? Am I going to hear you? Hey, Rita, am I going to hear you all the way in Philly going, baby?
You know what? You know what? I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. You know what? Don't let me take you to Space Mountain, lady. Okay? Take you to Space Mountain.
You're going to take her up on Space Mountain. You're going to say, hands up, hands up. Baby, put the song song say? Don't.
I got a belt. I got a heavyweight title belt.
Oh God!
And I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there because
what do it say? Why? You gotta give me a Luda. Luda say, hands up.
Hey sis, can I tell you something?
You making my cheeks hurt.
Hey sis,
my cheeks hurt. Oh my
can
God!
I tell you something? Me and you always get deep in conversation. Okay?
Oh God!
We get deep in conversation, and we talk about
God.
the skills that women could do. We ain't gonna talk about how you lay rest in peace. I ain't messing with Emmy because all the thing you just did was just have her just dust off the casket. She opened it up. She's spraying. She's like, this is where he's going to lay tonight. She's doing her calisthenics. She's lifting her weights. He's down there doing that show. I'm gonna tell you straight lace. I'm gonna do my jumping jack.
This is gonna happen. This was gonna happen. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna go upstairs, right? Cause y'all gonna be asleep.
He is.
You gonna go upstairs, right?
I may sleep on the couch tonight. I may sleep on the couch.
She gonna go like this. She gonna say, "Turn on." No. When you walk upstairs in the room, you gonna open up the door. She gonna say, "Turn off the light."
No, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. I'm gonna test the couch out.
Candle. And you gonna like, look, she gonna look at you. You wanna look at her like what? Light a candle. She wanna say, "Turn them off."
I'm done. She practicing right now.
This is for all the lovers in the house. Y'all know I'm right about it. Come on now. Y'all know y'all right. When y'all got that mood and y'all gonna set that mood, y'all got the right music. We got the right outfit. We got the right texture. Everything. We gonna get it. We gonna get it tonight, yo.
You,
get it.
My sister, are a black woman. We know how black women do. My wife is a Hispanic. That's even worse. Okay? Shit. I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. I gotta touch the couch out.
She gonna be like, look, wait. She gonna be like this. Tell me a papi.
I'll be like, no. I gotta put oil in the car.
She gonna have that. She gonna be playing in the background. Talk about some.
No. Anywho.
Oh God.
Anywho. I mean, all kidding aside.
Oh God.
You know, all kidding aside, she know how to put that ass to sleep. So anyway,
oh really? Did you forget the last one?
No. So let me go. So all kidding aside, about the situation we talking about with the president and stuff like that. Shona, seriously,
you better flip it back. Cause she about to walk down the steps and put her leg around your neck and be like, "What? You go
She'll
what?"
wait till after the show. It's where I work at, where I do my.
Because y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. I need some ice cream. Go ahead.
Where I do my accounts up in Morristown, New Jersey. The primary people up there, primarily, European. Some are unfortunately Trump supporters. Some, not all.
Okay.
Some feel that they go along with the ex-Governor Christie, that he said that open up the states. Hold on, and if people die, they die.
I was using it right. I was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to get off of work. We're gonna have a special episode. We're gonna go special news. Like, you know how they do breaking news? We was about to go on and have one of those breaking news. How you gonna sit there and say, and I believe the lady was on The View, and Whoopi Goldberg had her statement about how she felt about what he said, and then one of the non-supremacies, not us, but them,
okay,
said, how would he feel to say something like that? Are we going to use his family as the guinea pigs to go outside and let us know if it's clear? I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, finally, somebody said it, and it wasn't us. It wasn't us. But I'm also going to say this. Listen to me. Listen. Don't let them fool you. We are not the only ones who have coronavirus.
Right.
We're not the only ones they're talking about. And you know why we're the only ones they're talking about? Because they want to use us to go out there and get this what they call it, the shot. So if we get the shot, we're the guinea pigs. Again, make you think and do what we already want you to do. They want us to come out here and get this vaccine. That's what they want.
Yeah, they do.
They're not going to say it. But they're going to make you believe that you thought it and make you believe you said it. And then all y'all going around there and get the vaccine. And what's going to happen? The same thing that happened with the Huskies. Remember the Huskies?
This.
The same thing that happened with the Huskies. They was it Huskies? Come on, somebody help me.
Tuskegee something.
Right. You all went and they had to end up taking the vaccine or whatever. That they want you to be stop. Understand when the system wants you to do what they really want you to do, but they're not going to tell you. Now they sit here just like we sit here talking about something. Well, we getting all these stipends. Hello. The stipend was written under the CARES Act in 2019 of July. But, so how you know about using a stimulus package for something that you didn't know that was coming?
How about that?
So you wrote up a stimulus package July of 2019 to be used now, but you said it's new. It's not new. It was CARES. There's a CARES Act that was in July 2019. The stimulus package was written up then. So that means November 2019, they already knew about coronavirus. That's why they was able to have that little sit around table where everybody was ready and dressed.
Yeah.
Talking about what are we going to do about the information that we just heard in regards to this epidemic that's getting ready to come through. Go back a little bit further. I believe it was told to us without being told to us to let us know that something was coming to us, that somebody was preparing to prepare for us. But I think he was not preparing to believe that the people were going to be. I'm back. So yeah, like I said, it was a whole setup. They're gonna make you believe what they want you to believe, and they're gonna make you sit there and go, "Oh, really? Is all this coming on? Is all this coming on? Is all this happening?" And we sitting there like, duh. But the whole time we're all being set up. So I lost signal. William signed out. I told him not to, but he signed out anyway. But he's coming back because he's going to realize that he can come back in. But he's funny. Ain't he funny, y'all? My brother is so funny. So I'm going to tell him to come on back in. But listen. I really want you guys to tell us how you think and how you feeling about what you're saying too, because it's not just a lecture. It's really not just a lecture. This is not something that we just sit here and we just keep talking. It's not that type of playground. So with all that being said, while I'm waiting for him to come back in, tune in for just one moment. I have something else that we're going to discuss, because we as a people have to really understand that together is when we're powerful, but it's when we're separated that we're not powerful. And we need to really stop believing that we can't work together, because we really can. We can really bring this back together. We really can. So with that being going on, hold on one second. Hey, boo-boo. Hello, everybody. Again, please excuse our technical difficulties. You can always tell when we're getting in good with something, because the enemy don't want us to talk about what we're saying and we lose it. Right? Ever had that conversation when you want to tell somebody something, then all of a sudden the lines go, you're like, what happened? So hold on one second. I have something interesting to show you.
Of Black America's most listened to morning show, what we call a town hall meeting on the radio every day, a program that enlightens, empowers, encourages, inspires, entertains. He's the guy that is the head of SHIP. He is the hardest working man in radio. Please welcome my partner, the fly jock, Tom Joyner. Yeah, one more time for C-SPAN. And C-SPAN, we are people that loves to do shout-outs. I don't allow shout-outs on my show. But C-SPAN, why don't we at least do this? Give me that wide shot here at the Hampton Convocation Center. And I know that during the break, you called someone to watch C-SPAN and to watch all of this going on. So without shouting out any names, why not just stand up and wave at them? C-SPAN, give me a long shot, a wide shot. Everybody wave at the people that you know are watching. Ain't that beautiful? A wave out. We are here in Jamestown. Jamestown, 400 years ago. The settlers came to Jamestown, and I can't help but think that among those Africans that were there 400 years ago, there probably was a talkative little fella who was more interested in organizing a panel than working. There had to be a Tavis Smiley. 400 years ago, when the Africans came with the settlers here to Jamestown, there had to be a DJ that wanted to get the Negro spirituals played. Oh, that's right. They didn't have a radio or any record player. Get the Negro spirituals sung to tell the story and the glory. And Tavis, I think that's how I'm going to introduce, and I want you to go along with me, our panelists. There had to be a historian. There had to be a historian that was more interested in the history of our people than he was willing to work. But later, when he got to Ebony Magazine under John H. Johnson, he had to work and work hard. Please welcome historian and executive editor emeritus of Ebony Magazine, Dr. Lerone Bennett Jr. See what I'm going? I like that. There had to be a little girl there. I like that. I see where you're going with this. See what I'm going? So there had to be a little girl there who was dreaming about going into outer space one day. Yeah. Instead of working. I think I'll just go hang out in the atmosphere. Work piling up. And she was born, and her name turned out to be Dr. Mae Jemison, the first Black woman in space. You see what I'm saying? I see that. there had to be one African who was encouraging the people to think critically about their conditions. Please welcome the president and CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, Wade Henderson.
And I'm sure there had to be a little boy who said, one day I want to do something spectacular in corporate America. But then after I've made some money and tried to push corporate America to do right by these colored folk, maybe I'll accept a position running an organization.
How do you know about corporations?
Well, slavery was an institution, so somebody was making some money.
And he was thinking about that.
Yeah, so he was thinking about that and said, Instead of working. Yeah, nobody works in corporate America anyway, so just go to corporate America and get paid for a few years, but then I'm going to push corporate America to do right by black people, and maybe I'll run an organization one day called the NAACP, right? And maybe his name is Bruce Gordon, the president and CEO of the NAACP. I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going with this.
Oh, yeah. 400 years ago in Jamestown, there had to be an African out there yelling, yeah, 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 yeah. And introducing Tavis Smile instead of working. And making money. Yes, there had to be 400 years ago. Please welcome, and you gave her a big round of applause for her poems earlier, nationally respected author and speaker, Sonia Sanchez.
Now, this next kid had to be dreaming so hard that somebody just told him, you need to put down the crack pipe. There was something wrong with you. Because if you think you're going to grow up to be the baddest law professor at Harvard, you smoking something.
You need to start working.
You need to start working. Stop all that dreaming. But look what happens when your name is Charles Ogletree.
The tree.
The tree.
And then, Tavis, there had to be one out there that was just the smartest of all.
Just reading all the time.
All the time. And always encouraging you and some of these others that you kept saying over and over again, and they didn't really get it at first. He kept saying, you got to love the people, to lead the people.
And he kept saying, you got to serve the people if you're going to save the people.
And he wouldn't work.
No, just reading all the time. Reading and thinking and talking all the time.
Please welcome Dr. Cordell West. I'm telling you, Tavis.
I see where you're going with this.
The work was piling up.
Work was piling up. These Negroes didn't want to work.
They didn't want to work.
They had other kind of things they wanted to do. So you know that amongst the kids playing in the dirt, there was one kid who just kept talking about helping other kids. Just kept talking about what can we do for the other kids. The kids on the plantation, the kids. What I want to grow up one day to spend my whole life after I work with Dr. King. I want to spend the rest of my life working with kids. I want to become the preeminent person in all of American history fighting for kids. And her mom and daddy said, maybe we'll name her Marion Wright Edel, founder of the Children's Defense Fund.
Tavis, out there had to be one little boy 400 years ago, one little African boy who was bringing the noise. He said, bring the noise. And everybody around him wondered, even then, 400 years, how did Flavor Flav get a TV show?
power. They in the slaves, they in the fields.
He talking about fight the power.
They in the fields working. He talking about fight the power.
Instead of working,
fight the power.
Yeah. Hip hop legend Chuck T.
And somewhere there was a smart little black girl in the field. Mm-hmm. Smart little girl in the field who said, I want to spend my life working on the issues that matter most to our people. Somebody has got to do the work. Not out front doing the TV thing, but just behind the scenes, doing the work, writing the papers, doing the research that our people are going to need to make their case to these folk when we get to this 400-year mark. How do we put together a book called The Covenant Action without being able to explain to them vis-a-vis a book, the issues, what the struggles are? Instead of working. I'm going to write books and do research. And that's something I'm going to research. Work piling up, but I want to do research. But it came in handy for the Covenant and the Covenant Action because she's now the founder and president of Policy Link. Her name is Angela Glover Blackwell.
When there had to be one African 400 years ago that thought about challenging the laws that kept us in slavery. And he grew up to be a congressman. 8th term as member of Congress for the 3rd District of Virginia. Please welcome Congressman Robert C. Scott.
So there had to be a bunch of kids like this who just playing games all the time. They really didn't want to work. Playing games in the dirt and whatever games they could create, just playing games all the time. So he grows older and ends up becoming like the best at Pac-Man. And then figures that he can do more than just play games. He can actually use this internet to make life better for black people. So he dreams of starting this thing called,
what's the internet?
See, what's that again?
What's the internet?
Yeah, we'll talk later. But he figured that out and decided that at some point, black people needed something on the internet as well as white folk. Uh-huh. So maybe I'll start something called blackplanet.com.
Okay.
And he did, and it's working well. His name happens to be Omar Wasso.
And finally, there had to be one woman who was out there motivating the other women, telling these other women what they don't need to take from those men.
Yeah.
Instead of working, she was motivating. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Executive Director of Black Think Tank and Motivational Speaker Extraordinaire, Dr. Julia Hare.
This is our afternoon panel. I'm going to ask the panel to stand to their feet, ask you in this auditorium to stand to your feet as well and grab your Covenant in Action book in your hand. Get your Covenant in Action text. ExxonMobil provided everyone in this room a
So, Big Brother, did you see that?
complimentary copy of that text. We're going to do.
So, did you see that? Big Brother? So
Yes, I did.
Okay, so the
Yes,
point
I
of that-
did.
So the point of that is, remember Black History came? It comes every month for 1 month, the smallest month of all months. They decide, yeah, let's give them a little something, a little bitch. Did you realize?
28 days to be exact, right?
Yeah, unless it's leap year. But did you realize that everybody that was on that panel?
29 days.
So did you recognize that everybody that was on that
Yes.
was, okay, you are behind.
Cornell West.
You must be watching from your phone because you're behind me.
No. I've seen everybody that came out. And I seen when they said Chuck D. I didn't know Chuck D was on that panel.
Something's wrong with your volume, brother. Come out and come back in because you're repeating behind me.
Okay.
You're following behind me.
Can you hear me now?
Only through your phone. Some way you're hearing me, but you must be watching me because you're answering way behind me. You're acting like a Chinese person. Remember Remember the Chinese movies? They would go, and I will beat your butt.
Let me.
Y'all remember those movies back then? The Chinese movies we used to wait for every Saturday. First, it would start off with the cartoon Kung Fung Fooey, and then after we had Kung Fung Fooey, we had that Chinese guy that used to walk from, I guess, what country to county or whatever. It was Kung Fu somebody. I forgot what he was. Anybody remember him? Who he was? I know y'all know that's watching TV. I know some of y'all my age and older. Come on now. I know y'all remember that Chinese guy. And he used to look like he was walking from county to county. He always had a little duster hat on. And but he wasn't a Chinese guy. I don't know who he was, but I can't remember. But anyway, and then you had the actual series of the Chinese movies that used to come on, and they will always be talking, and they lips be talking all fast, and they only come out with 3 words. Y'all remember those? My goodness. Well, while he's going back, I'm going to switch us back out again. And let me see if I can get some more of this video. Hold on.
Turn to the covenants on page number 4. Turn to the covenants. That page marked IX. We want to read these covenants together. So for those watching around the country and the world, they'll know what this conversation about the covenant is all about. We will read the covenant number and the name together. Let's read in unison, shall we? Covenant number 1, securing the right to health care and well-being. Covenant number 2, establishing a system of public education in which all children achieve at high levels and reach their full potential. Covenant number 3, correcting the system of unequal justice. Covenant number 4, fostering accountable, community-centered policing. Covenant number 5, ensuring broad access to affordable neighborhoods that connect to opportunity. Covenant number 6, claiming our democracy. Covenant number 7, strengthening our rural roots. Covenant number 8, accessing good jobs, wealth, and economic prosperity. Covenant number 9, assuring environmental justice for all. And covenant number 10, closing the racial digital divide. Please turn now to page 89 in your text. Covenant in action. As we read the call to action. Doesn't mean much to have a covenant agenda if the people are not going to be called into action. Take that covenant and put it into action. We will read the line. This is a call to action in unison, and various panelists will read the parts in between. I will commence. This year, 2007, marks the 400-year anniversary of the founding of the Jamestown Settlement, America's earliest democratic society. For African Americans, this occasion is bittersweet, as other Americans celebrate this momentous event that established the foundation for our country's greatness. African Americans are reminded yet again that for many of us, the promises of democracy are not yet real. African Americans have lived and died by the democratic ideals that Jamestown represents. There is no greater evidence of this than the mass civic participation that characterized the civil rights movement. So we believe in the Jamestown ideals, but for us, Jamestown is inextricably linked with the dehumanizing enslavement of our ancestors. The transatlantic slave trade was brutal and deadly. The number of Africans who died during the Middle Passage is difficult to confirm, but estimates range from 4 to 25 million. Those who did not perish, the ocean floor lost their history, their language, their legacy, their religion, and knowledge of themselves. For African Americans, the anniversary of the founding of the Jamestown settlement is a cause for soul searching, not celebration. Today, 4 centuries later, we must still answer the question, how do we make the promises of democracy real for African Americans? And the people said, this is a call to action.
Wow. So with that being said, it was a call to action. Did you see that? That was a call to action. So my thing is, that's what the people needed to understand, and that's what the people needed to see. They needed to see that this call to action. Now, this is what's funny to me. This was on C-SPAN.
Yes.
It was on CNN. We don't watch C-SPAN or CNN.
Correct. What do we watch?
We
Starts
watch
with a B.
Yeah, we watch BT.
T.
Yeah, and then sometimes we watch Hallmark. Sometimes we watch ABC, CBS. So can I ask you a question?
One more. You left one out. MSNBC.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
because they had Al Sharpton on it. That's why we watch.
Oh,
Anyway.
so my question is, shouldn't that been a little bit more publicized that happened?
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Please do, because I got more in the video. I got more.
Remember,
we talk about a call to action, and there's a reason why I'm talking about and why we get ready to hit the subject of call to action. So I'm gonna tell you now, y'all about to get mad. So get your bottles, get your drinks, because some of y'all about to even get disgusted. So yeah, go ahead and say what you guys say, big brother. You got the screen.
You know what? I met about a few years ago, which I think was 2017 or 16, 2015, there you go. Now, remember 20 years earlier, they had the Million Man March and all that stuff like that. They thought it was going to be a disaster and all that. 2015, they had 20-year anniversary of the Million Man March. I went to that. I took my son, I took my wife, took my stepson, a few other kids went to that. Now, when they were advertising that, they didn't advertise it. No. However, it was over 1 million plus people in Washington, D.C. I know, okay, because we was like this, okay. Now, they didn't talk about it. They didn't do none of that. A lot of grassroots organizations, and being Tavis Smiley, he was there. I saw them. Tavis Smiley was there. A lot of grassroots organizations really helped out with the promotion of that. Now, the video that you just played, same way. I mean, all those wonderful people in there, and they didn't advertise it or promote it like it should be, because that's something that we need. Of course, Miss Kim, they don't do that. But I'm gonna tell you what they will promote. They will promote hip hop, wives, basketball wives, anything trifling or ratchet. Let me use that word, ratchet, that puts us in a light that's not a positive light. They'll promote that. This is something that we need to know, and this generation needs to understand, and they need to hear it, but they're not going to do it. I said it a few minutes ago. I said MSNBC. Only reason why people watch MSNBC is because they want to watch, and I said Al Sharpton, because he's in tune to what's going on. Even though he should have been at that panel, he's still more boots to ground and all that stuff like that, what's going on. Sis, we need more events like that
Yes,
that's going to enrich and help us out. Because right now, I mean, what just happened 2 weeks? Well, actually, 2 months ago, the gentleman from Georgia got killed. Okay, and they just put him to jail. The prosecutor had to recluse himself because they were all friends. The mayor or governor of Georgia knew all about it, but somehow it got out, so they had to arrest him to make it look like they were doing their job, but they really weren't. And the sad thing is, excuse me, everyone. The sad thing is, they have a group right now called the Christians United, something like that, that they're actually doing a GoFundMe page to pay for those two jackasses defense. So this young man goes in the house and takes a look at the house. They were doing construction and all that. He has nothing in his hand. They follow him, accuse him of trying to rob or whatever they said he was trying to do, and they kill him just like that. Just like they could choke a young man up in New York City, Eric Gardner, I can't breathe, just like that. Just like they could stop Rodney King back in the day, you remember that, pull him over the side of the road, and because he was a little, not, feeling it, they decide that he's not paying attention to us. So let's whoop his ass so badly that he could barely open up one eye, okay? And a lot of stuff that America has done to us. Down south is still doing it. Up in the north too. I mean, you have a place like Chicago, certain parts of Philadelphia, Southwest Philly. Anybody went to Bartram High School, when you went on Lindbergh Avenue, you couldn't, back in the 80s, you couldn't be all up on Lindbergh Avenue because that would be your ass. And I mean, a lot of stuff has gotten through the cracks, and we're talking about the same thing over and over again, but we need to stand and we need to unite and we need to get this situation taken care of. You look at, they have I don't know what they call themselves, but they're going to the state capitol. White guys, AK-47s, demanding that they open up the states. Now, somebody put something up on Facebook and had their picture and the Black Panthers. But with the Black Panthers, they had a National Guard standing right before them. The other guys that's going to Wisconsin, they have nothing before them. You don't even see the Capitol Police. You don't see the regular police, okay? You don't see none of that. That's right, Miss Wilson. Follow all outlets. That's right. They do with the propaganda, correct. They don't have none of that. I mean, they could get all in the police's face, spit on them, and they had to cancel something on Friday because the governor of Michigan didn't want to, get any bloodshed or whatever on the protesters. What gives them the right to bear arms and to go up there and demand they open up the states when this so-called coronavirus is affecting us? But you know what? Before I take it down real quick, D.L. Hewley said something on his show, and it like clicked in my brain. He said, Europeans, white people aren't used to being told what to do. They're being told right now, you got to stay home. They're being told you can't do this. You're being told they can't do that. This, that. And what they're doing, they're revolting. So as people may think, oh, people getting tired and cooped up. We got a disease, a virus out there that's taking people's lives. Because they listen to the news, they say, oh, it's affecting really black people. It ain't really affecting us. Donald Trump can go and have no mask and all that. It's not really affecting us, it's affecting the black people. So that's why they're marching and protesting, saying, open up the states. Because more of the elderly and the African Americans, and even the brown ones, we can get rid of, the more we can live in this utopia that this world belongs to us. And that's why I say.
Let me say something.
Take it away.
First of all, like you said, they're only going to report to you what they want you to lead you to believe. Only thing is, they're only telling you that it's us because remember when it all first started, it was them.
Yep.
But there was no number to how many of them were. But then we all know, we already know, we don't catch this stuff. They give it to us. We don't catch it. They give it to us. And if you don't believe me, think about the common cold and the common flu. We go to the building where they work at. They touch the door after doing all of this and all of this and all of this and all of that. They touch the door. They sick. We go right behind them and we get it. And now we pass it. We don't get it. We don't catch it. They give it to us every time. First, this thing was in Montgomery County. It told us it was in Montgomery County, but they never told us how many of them it was in Montgomery County. But then all of a sudden, when it became that blacks was getting it, then all of a sudden it was counting how many blacks. So let me ask you something. Now, again, you know how I say it. Just because it's my opinion, I'm not making it no one else's facts.
Sister, let that shit rip.
So, if I want you to believe that it's them that's getting it done, and it's okay for you to walk out in the street without your hood on and just kill us, what do you think the person with the wrong mind of fear is going to do to us? They're going to start chasing us down and trying to extinct us too. You got to remember, before this thing even bust out, what did they say? Go back to where you came from. Excuse me, how can we go back where we came from when you stole us and we don't even know where you stole us from? Okay. We didn't even want to come here, but now we're here and now you got what you want from us. Now you want to go ahead and send us away. Okay, so you want to send us away to a land that we know nothing about. Okay.
And don't like us.
And they don't like us because of y'all.
Yep.
So then we don't go. So you say you're going to make us go. So how you going to make us go? Oh, we're going to let loose this little thing right here. And that's going to kill them off. And that's going to kill all of them off. And anybody who don't follow suit with us, they're going to get all killed off too. Again, this is me just thinking out the box. This is me just sitting here going, Now, so all this is going on. If I'm afraid of you and I got a gun and I see you and you're coming to me, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot without question.
Right.
But the only difference with you shooting versus me shooting, I go to jail. You get an award. How do you get an award? Because we find pictures floating around of you without your hood, holding hands, and a big old picture with a governor or whoever he was of office. Correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. So you do that. You do that. And it's okay. But when I do it, it's not okay. But let me not get all up in a tizzy because I'm coming for you. I'm coming hard for you. I don't want to hear nothing about what no white man did to us that you haven't already did to your brother and your sister of color yourself. I'm sorry.
Preach that.
Don't you dare sit there and talk about what they did to us. No, what are we doing to us? So until we get fixed, until we get right, don't you dare go point no finger like, well, look what they're doing to us. You doing it too. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, Kim. And it was the governor of Georgia. Can somebody please find out who that Chinese man was that was going from state to state, please, on Saturdays? In that old dusty coat and that dusty hat, please. Can we find him too? But back to what I was saying. Yeah. Don't you dare come and tell me about what Washington is doing to you when Johnson did it too. But the thing that I want to say the most, did you see that panel of power? Why can't you understand that we have that same power? If we all just bind together and say, hey, and if you don't believe that it don't work, let me take you somewhere for a minute. So the suburban kids, parents get together at the PTA meetings and they go rah rah shish boom bob when things happens for their kids. So why can't we do the same thing and do the same impact for our kids? Can we stop being mad about the petty stuff and little stuff like, oh, I can't get to the store. Oh, I can't get to my favorite restaurant. How about we get together on a panel and find out what we need to do so we can just open? Look, we don't want to be no more closed in than they do. I'm sorry. I'm tired of being closed up in the house with them. I love them. I know who they are, but I gotta go. I gotta go. They can stay. I need a dance floor. I need to vent. Look. I need to move. But if you're going to give me a movement to move on, heck yeah, I'll sit on the panel. I sure will. But the only problem is I'm just like that one that sits in the corner, that quiet one. I ain't going to say nothing while I'm in there. But then when I do say something, it's going to be a problem. Because the problem is going to be, if you want me to shut up and if you really want to know how we going to fix this, then come talk to me. But right now, you don't want to know. You want to just pretend like you opened up the possibility of saying, oh, if anybody have any ideas, you know we got ideas. Just like y'all know just how important we are because it was our milk that fed your children to make them as smart as they are today, but we don't want to pop our mouth for our own kids. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion, not no one's facts. Okay, now on that note, I have nothing else to say.
You know what? Our milk. You know what? It's funny. To everyone on this planet who has seen the miniseries Roots and even the remake and all that stuff like that, and Amistad and all those movies, one thing that we've always done, we've helped build America. We've helped build families. We helped build corporations. We've helped build a lot of stuff in America. Okay. Yep. So you think about, like I said a few minutes ago with Roots, you mentioned something about the transatlantic slave trade. What they did. I read up on that in school and stuff like that. And it was the most horrific thing that any human being can endure. They was packed in slaves and, one next to one another, and there was diseases and everything and stuff like that. Someone put on Facebook during Black History Month, they said, Black people always talk about what white people did. Well, what about the Spanish? What about the Africans? They enslaved people. They did this. They did that. And if you look at history, yeah, they did do that. When the Spanish enslaved us, they just worked us and want us. Excuse my language, everybody. I'm ready to say. They were more concerned with the breeding. Okay, so they wanted us to work and get busy. Okay, Africans, because they took over your tribe, then you was their slave. They didn't cut nobody's foot off. They didn't tell you to have sex with your mom or your sister. They didn't do none of that horrific stuff that when the Europeans came and enslaved us or other things. Look up, break a buck. That's real interesting. They didn't do that. You was just like a prisoner. You had to do what they had to say. But let me fast forward. Today, a lot of people don't understand when this pandemic came out. Only thing this pandemic did was just bring out the true feelings that people already had. When when he won the presidency, there was a lot of people that was like, oh shit, he won. So certain people felt that I could walk up to you, Shauna, and be like, move out my way, bitch. And you just be like, yes, ma'am. They don't know that this ain't 1923, this ain't 1935. Somebody walk up to you and be like, move out my way, bitch. Excuse me, what did you just say? I said, soon they get the right there, Shauna, they're going to be 1, 2, 3. They're going to be on the floor.
You know,
on the ground.
You know what that remind me of, right?
But
Remember the Rocky movie?
Yeah.
They all thought after Rocky beat him up, because Rocky beat up Mr. T, all them Italians came out and were like, yo, I'm going to beat you up like Rocky.
Never happened.
They got knocked out. Matter of fact, it was Eddie Murphy that made a joke about it because he said, everybody's
raw. It was raw. He said that joke.
He said everybody sued him.
He said the guy went to the movie theater, the scene we talked about the movie theater. He said, yeah, it's gonna have some juju beans, some popcorn, this and that. Oh yeah, and the nigga gonna pay for it. And the black guy looking down like, excuse me, little man, what did you just say? I said, nigga, paying for my food. And next thing you know, you get the police report. Yes, we can't take the motherfucker out the machine. Yes, he shoved up his ass. But that's the perception when Donald Trump took office, because I keep telling people, and people like, oh my God, America, the supremacists that you say and that we know are out there. They was mad because a black man ran this country for 8 years, no scandals, no none of this. Yeah, they gave him a hard way to go. They kept blocking everything he was doing, blocking everything. But what he did do, people are like, oh, he did that. Obama really did a lot that they didn't talk about. Okay, but only thing you heard about is how they was blocking him. He had to work with the tools he had. He was the only first black president that we ever had in this whole world. And like Arian Spears has said, the comedian Arian Spears said, let's get to the 12th or the 15th black president, and then we can start comparing. But right now, we only have one, sis, one. We don't know when the next one is going to come. Maybe we'll be here to see it. Maybe we'll be in dementia to see it. But when the next one comes, let's talk about it then. We can't talk about it now. We only had one. And now they didn't like that, so they went back to the way that it was. But they thought they was going to go back to the way of Ronald Reagan and all that stuff like that. No, they got a slickster from New York City, a businessman who only looks at this thing as a business.
Yep.
He don't give a shit about his supporters like that. No. They think he do, but he don't. No, he's rich. When do rich people care about everyday people? Only time they care about us is when we spending money.
Excuse me. He don't care about nobody. He can't really run a business because everything he touched, I believe, went bankrupt.
Everything. The
only reason why they liked him is because he was willing to do what people wouldn't do. He was willing to say what people wouldn't say, and he didn't care about it. But the thing about it was nobody believed he was going to win. But what we failed to understand is that when we did not vote, we gave him our vote. I'm gonna say
hold on, sister. Hold on. I want you to take the whole screen over. Take the whole screen over and educate these people. Break it down.
When you did not vote,
thank you.
You gave him your vote. Because now the only votes that are registering is the ones that's going in for him. So why don't you think it was a landslide? Again, we're not thinking. And then we didn't put other people in the chair that we knew that we could go to when he started cutting up, because they are his boss. We got it backwards. That's why I keep saying to y'all, if come November, you don't go check who you employed, you're going to have a problem. And I don't want to hear nobody complaining. None. Because you had the opportunity to make a change and go and put people in the office that's going to work for you. See, that's what you don't understand. You keep saying my vote don't matter. Yes, it does. Because again, I'm going to say it. When you don't vote, that automatically gives him a vote. Because you didn't. There is no number. So please register to vote. And I want y'all to stand outside, just like y'all standing outside, for your water ices, for your food steaks, for your crabs.
Say it again.
Your football games and your basketball games. And young people, I want you to understand, and I want you to hear me clear. He cheated y'all out of education and graduation. You better go in there and put somebody in the house that's going to allow you to be appreciated and allow you to be educated. Because the only reason why they don't want you educated, my young brothers and my young sisters, is because they don't want y'all to know what they're doing. Because what they're doing, they don't teach it in elementary school. They teach it in college. And if you don't know nobody who don't know the story and they don't happen to drop the information on Facebook, you'll never know. Lesser evil is being taught in college. Now, y'all want to know what's the lesser evil? I'm glad you asked. The lesser evil is called, you're going to do something that's actually for the evil, but you're going to take the lesser version of the evil that you're about to do. So I call the lesser evil is coronavirus. So the lesser evil is the senior citizens. They are the ones of the lesser value because they're the ones who have the pot. They're the ones who have the money. So I'm not going to take care of people who I'm giving money to that's not working. Woo! Did I say that? Yes, I did, because senior citizens aren't working. Medical assistants not working. People with disability not working. So who were the people, mainly of us, that were dying? Let's see. Senior citizens. People on less than expenses of not working. People who are disabled. They were all in the hospital, and majority of them did not beat the coronavirus. Why you think New York is screaming for help? You know why? I'm glad you asked. Because he, meaning 45, do not like Cuomo. Am I saying his name right? By him not liking Cuomo, he's not going to make sure that his city gets what they need because he's not cooperating with them. Do you know why Georgia really said what she said and the people in Las Vegas said what they really said by saying using common sense? Because they know us fools ain't going to use common sense. We're not going to use common sense. We're going to let somebody tell us what's common and make that sense. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. But you have to take back charge. Like the lady said, stop looking for a leader to stand up and you stand up as the leader for yourself. I'm one of them verbal mothers. When it came to problems about my kids, yep, that little head you going right there, I got what my kids needed because I was that voice for them. We need to be voices for our kids, if not only for ourselves. It's stated that they're going to lose and they're going to get rid of Generation X. So how can they get rid of Generation X? Take away their knowledge. We are powerful as a unit more than we are with one. So if we could just get over ourselves and band together and not be like, well, I don't want to touch him because he don't look like that, or he not working there, or I'm not going here, or he looking at me like this. Can we get over that and come together and beat this stuff? Because all we have to do is band together. Do you see how many do you see how many it is of us? If you don't remember, go back to the march. How many of us was out there? How many? And televised. If you take them same people, look, let me go back a little more deeper. I know y'all gonna get mad at me. I don't care. It's my hour. It's my moment. So what you gonna do? They did everything that they did in slavery, and look how we came out. If they could do it with little, how come we can't do it with much more? How come we can't do it? How can we take that same power that our ancestors had, use that same anger that we get from remembering, use that same power that they had and move? When are we going to get tired of saying we tired and sitting on our behinds and saying that we tired and saying, well, we can't do nothing? Yes, you can. You got a voice. Use it. You put the mother suckers in the house. I did. And guess what I do? They know my full name. Yes, they do. And you know what I tell them? All you can do, I'm already broke. You can't damage my credit. It can't get no more worse than zero. So I'm going to run my mouth. But I'm going to make sure that I have somebody that I can, or who they can't mess with, push my mouth. Are you get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. 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 So with that
was impactful, and that was a mouthful. And I co-sign everything you said. We need to be a unit. We need to stop bullshitting because it's getting out of hand. And you said something that made me laugh. You said we need to get over ourselves. Yeah, people, we need to get over ourselves. We really do. We really need to stop thinking, you know, we're so like, oh, I don't want to mess with this person. I don't want to do this with this person. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with this subject. Get over yourself, okay? Because right now, while you're being petty, the world is coming in right here, and it's getting you, and you're not understanding it. Okay, you're not understanding it at all. Only thing you want to do, and I always make this joke, is this, you know what I'm talking about. Put on, and matter of fact, I saw that today when I was up in Philadelphia. It was 80 degrees. What I see, a lot of masks and a lot of booty shorts. And hey, come on, we got to get over that bullshit. Okay, it's a much deeper and bigger picture that's happening right around us. We need to use our minds. Malcolm X said we use our minds. Okay, they can't do nothing when we use our minds. Black men, black women, black and brown, I don't care. We got to use our heads because already, you know what they're doing in social media? They already got, because they already projected that Hispanics will be the #1 majority, which I've been knew that. And whites will be either #2 or 3. But blacks will, we would either be 2 or we be #4. We're going to be in the top 10, no doubt. Already, they're putting poison in the Hispanic culture, which I've seen this on social media. And they're saying that, separate yourselves from them. Okay, stop supporting them. They don't support us. Stop supporting them. And I've seen this on social media and it disturbed me. Stop supporting them. Gee, stop supporting them. So if you can't come at us straight, you're going to target people that's constantly around us. Okay. And for all you Hispanics out there that's watching, yes, when you look you up in the dictionary, yes, it says European, but 15% of that belongs to us. So yes, you're in the same boat as us, whether you like it or not. Okay. So getting back to what I'm saying, they already trying to divide. We need to be smarter. We need to be smarter because they already know that in 2025, 2030, 2040, Europeans is not going to be the #1 race. They know it's going to be Hispanics. How I know? Sis, you remember a couple of years ago, I was taking a course down here in New Jersey, and I got my certificate for business administration. We had a guy who came in from the IRS, and he said that in 10 years, that the majority is not going to be white. It's going to be Hispanic. So, how could we get them on our side? I get it. You know what? Yo guys, we really don't give a damn about them. We really want y'all guys. We want y'all. So y'all could come on with us. We accept you. You ain't gotta hang with the black people. Get with us. You get with us, more things will happen to you. Not all white people think like that, but like you said, the supremacist ones, they already thinking about how they can divide the black and brown because we've been like this for so many years. We both nationalities that's on the bottom of society's shoe. So they figured that, you know what? Let's get them, turn against them, so we can get them and have them unite with us because they know they're losing this battle. They know they're losing. So why not go with the people who they already know is going to be #1 in the future? Hey, it's clever. It's smart. Let's get the ones that's going to be #1. Let's get with them. Let's get them on our side. Get them to turn against them so they can be all out there. But guess what? To the ones that think that way, it's not going to work. Because guess what? There's no pure Europeans anymore. There's no pure Hispanics anymore. There's no more pure anything. Every nationality is crossed. Okay? Everybody is crossed today. So there is no more pure 100% this, 100% that, 100% this. It's not happening no more.
So talking about what's happening, I'm gonna hit this back one last time. Check this out. Man, hold on. I got something else for you.
And yes, Miss Wilson, the problem is that many of us are mentally and systematically brainwashed.
America be yet another conversation that Black folk had about the problems confronting the Black community. Let us make a solemn commitment. Let us capitalize and build on the covenant movement. Let us use the momentum that has been created to move our community to places we have never dreamed or imagined.
This is a call to action.
We must take the energy generated by the covenant and strategically move it to sustained, coordinated, long-term action. We are the masters of our destiny. We can be the catalyst for dramatic change in our own lives and in the life of our community, daring to believe that we have the power and the ability to change the course of history.
This is a call to action.
When we make Black America better, we make all of America better.
This is a call to action, and the time to act is now. Give yourself some love. That's our call to action. And please thank Tom Joyner, the fly jock, for being with us today. Thank you, Tom. Now that we are all on the same page about why we are here, what this conversation is all about, let me start with this great historian, Lerone Bennett Jr., to get this conversation started. I want to spend just a few minutes talking about why this matters. Why does it matter to have a conversation about this 400-year journey by Black people in this place called America? Lerone Bennett.
I think it's necessary, first of all, to understand clearly what this event says and what it demands of us. First of all, it seems to me to say something that most Americans don't deal with. We came here 388 years ago, and we were among the founders of the United States of America. We want to start there, the bottom line. We were among the founders of this country. We are not guests in Virginia. We're sons and daughters of the forgotten founding fathers. The second thing it says to me quickly is an extraordinary thing. 400 years ago, we have survived. 400 years ago. Do you understand what that means? That's a miracle. That's a miracle. It's a miracle. We survived the vilest punishment inflicted on people in the Western Hemisphere. We came up from slavery, up from segregation, up from integration. And we provided the capital that made capitalism possible in this country. And so the second thing I think all people, all Black people ought to say to themselves and congratulate themselves. We survived. We survived. The third thing it says to me, and I say in passing, thank you, Tavis. Thank you, Tom Joyner. Thank you, Hampton. It says to us also that our ancestors, the men and women who were beaten, whipped, are looking to us to answer some questions. It's not a game we are playing here today. This is serious. We are accountable to our great-great-grandmothers and great-great-grandfathers. And so that's why Brother Tavis said the time to act now the time for you to respond to your parents and grandparents who were in slavery. The time for you to act for them is now. And the question that Brother Smiley is asking, I think, is what are you prepared to do and what are we prepared to do to make sure they didn't die and dream in vain?
Thank you. Dr. Cornell West, so often when we talk about this grand experiment called America, it is through the eyes of the immigrant coming to America via Ellis Island. We know those words well. Remember, you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses. We know the American story through the eyes of the immigrant coming to Ellis Island. How important is it 400 years later to wrestle with that Du Boisian question of whether or not America would have been America without her Negro people who came not through Ellis Island, but through Jamestown.
Yes, my brother. Let me first say that I just want to thank you for your leadership, though, brother, that you have built on the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. within the context of contemporary media conditions. It's a beautiful thing. It's a sweet thing to see not just a young black brother with dignity and grace, but a celebrity who decides to use their energy and their talent, service to others, struggle for freedom, focusing on black freedom. So I love you dearly, brother, and respect you profoundly. And for me, in thinking about 400 years, I think about those who have passed, and I think of Brother Gerald Levert, I think of James Brown, I think it's Alice Coltrane. These are towering figures in the last few months that we have lost. And what went into these particular persons is a deep sense of self-respect, self-regard, self-confidence, self-love, and willingness to share their gifts with others. They found joy in serving others. And this is a lesson for each and every one of us. Oftentimes we look first to our musicians, precisely because, you see, we know the Jamestown settlement was founded by the Virginia Company of London, which was a corporation to make profit. America was a corporation before it was a country. It's very important to keep in mind. It was profit-driven, oftentimes characterized by corporate greed. And the reason why they were hungry for African bodies was because they needed labor in order to generate profit, often generated by corporate greed. This is crucial. And the connection between that corporate greed, and then you look on those registers of 1621. There were white slaves, you know. White brothers and sisters were, in fact, enslaved. Even John Smith himself was enslaved in Europe. But when you look on the charts, they had all the names of the white slaves, indentured servants, but they had just Negro, 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 Negro. That is the problematic of black namelessness. So you would be called an aunt or an uncle later on, but the specificity of who you are as human, the individuality of what your mama and daddy named you is erased. That's one of the reasons why we got such colorful black names today. I'm going to keep track of your individuality even if the mainstream doesn't. But why is that important? It's because we are here to talk about how do we come up with the courage to think for ourselves, the courage to love one another, and the courage to hope against a legacy of corporate greed and white supremacy and male supremacy. And I want to end it with this, my dear brother, because 1 year ago we had that wonderful dialogue with our dear brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and you know he is struggling. Let us pray for him. Let us pray for him. And why do I say that? I say that because whether, in fact, you fully disagree or agree, one thing you can acknowledge is that he's bold, he's fearless, he's unafraid, he's unintimidated, he's unbought, and he's unbossed. And we need some free black people today. I didn't say successful, I said free black people. You can be successful, that's beautiful, but you're still unfree if you're still bought and sold and afraid and scared to speak out when other folk are suffering. That's what brought us here. That's what Brother Larone's talking about. That's why
Bennett and West.
You know, I'm feeling like a preacher right now. You know how the preacher said, I'm trying to close, but the spirit not letting me close. You know, this was actually turned out to be a 3-minute video. I want to say 3-minute video. I might have read it wrong. It may be 3 hours. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know about you, but I felt empowered when he said, let's get together, let's move. I felt empowered and inspired to say, okay, let me grab a bunch of my sisters and let me and a couple of my sisters get together. And let's bring our brothers with us when our sisters get together. And then maybe, just maybe. Now, good question. I don't know if we were able to find out when the next one is, Kim, but it's a good question. I'm definitely going to look up. I did see you just linked up something. Not sure what that was. I guess you said the video that I'm looking from. So this video can be found on C-SPAN, and I will be going on my personal page and right here on the No BSDUO Show for those who all want to follow suit and find out more about this video. But things don't happen by mistake. And I stumbled onto this today. And he made a valuable point when he said, not successful, but free. And success doesn't mean free. And when you think about that, I used to sit there and I used to get very, very upset. And I'm like, here we got a lot of people that are in the industry that are very successful, but yet they can't talk because of their livelihood. That's what you call enslavement. That's what you call not free. And my thing was, with your platform, you would think that you would be able to rally up your people together, because we quick to call ourselves our people, and do something about, making it better for all, not just for us, but for all. And I'll be wondering, why they don't do it. And it goes right back to what he just said. Just because you're successful don't mean you're free.
You know what? Remember, I don't know if people remember him, but there was an actor back in the day named Paul Robeson. You heard of him, Paul Robeson?
Yes, that's where Jared went to school. Paul Robeson. We have a school right here in West Philly representing his name.
Paul Robeson, for all those who don't know, was very active, very vocal, and he spoke up about the conditions that Black America was going through.
Right.
Successful actor. But you know what he did? He spoke up. And you know what they did? They dried him up. No more movie roles, no more opportunities, no more nothing. You see, Colin Kaepernick, did I say his name right, sis? Colin Kaepernick?
I believe, yes.
Okay. All he did was take a stand. He took a knee. How dare he disrespect? Every major football league owner did not want him on this team. Who else? Let's see. Muhammad Ali. Y'all know him.
Of course.
He said, I'm not going over to Vietnam. I'm not fighting them because they're not my enemies. Y'all are the enemies.
Yes, he did.
I'll say it again. I'm not fighting them. They ain't do it to me. Y'all are doing it to me. You know what they did? Took that belt right from him. You're not the champ of the world no more because you ain't want to go to Vietnam. I'm not going over there to kill people who did no injustice to me. Y'all are the ones that did injustice to me. Let's see. Who else? Malcolm X. He talked about, of course, when he was with Minister, when he was with the minister, they suspended him and then he did his own thing. But he got enlightened even more. He said, you know what? I'm not going to feed in to what y'all have me to feed into just because I left him for me to go do this. So what they did, they couldn't control him. So what they did, he did a speech, no cops around. Go down the block, stay down there. 3 guys, 4, kill them in broad daylight. Cops came an hour after it was all done. So America has a way. Oh, one more person. Bill Cosby. Now, women, I know y'all are going to say, well, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. During his later years, because when he was in his commercial years, and that means when he was doing Cosby Show and all that, he wasn't talking much. He was just donating money. But in his later years, when he got older and more enlightened, you know what y'all did? He harassed me. He drugged me. He did this. He did that. You know where he's at right now? In upstate Pennsylvania doing 3 to 10.
And coronavirus is not allowing him to come out, but is allowing everybody else to come out.
Tekashi, what's his name? My stepson told me. Tekashi 6ix9ine, a rapper with rainbow hair who testified against gangbangers, is out and he's under Rock Nation. Let's see. Somebody who was involved with Trump is out, coronavirus. But Bill Cosby is still in jail. He's still in jail.
I hate it. I hate when you make me feel like I'm in grandma's chair. You notice when stuff started to get to me, I get to my rock one.
But sis, it's true. Why you let a rapper with rainbow hair come out because he testified and be corona, all that stuff like that? He's out in the street talking shit. You let somebody who was down with Trump come out, be free because of corona. But Bill Cosby, who is partially blind, who is 80-some plus years old, who ain't really a threat.
He is a threat. I was waiting for you to say it. He is a threat.
Because he got that money?
No, not even because he got that money.
He got that power?
And he has the power. He has the power to get people to move. He can say things and people will move, even given the situation and circumstances. Just like I said today on my live. I had a live today called for
I saw that.
My Forever playlist, and it was dedicated to the one I love. And the songs, half the songs and some of the songs were R. Kelly. So my statement was, don't kill the messenger or hate, but understand that messages will come through people that you don't want. I don't care what y'all got to say. Y'all can tell me until I'm blue in the face, but I will stand tall and I will say this. They will put information where they know you will not go. They will tell you something not knowing they're going to tell you something knowing you're not going to go there. And let me tell you where they're going to put it at. They're going to put it in a book. They're going to put it in the classifieds, and they're going to put it in cartoons. If you think about it, we were some smart mothers because we watched Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny told us about the railroad. Bugs Bunny told us about the gold rush. People don't know. Gold Rush was first told during Bugs Bunny. He told us about duck season. And little people, did people understand what duck season mean? Mm-hmm. Every season, duck season. When you a rabbit, what you supposed to do? You supposed to jump, right?
Yep.
When you a duck, you supposed to duck, right?
Right. So
when it's rabbit season, it's time for us to start jumping. But when it's duck season, you better start ducking. Right now, we so busy ducking, not understanding that it's rabbit season. We supposed to be jumping. Now, I know somebody said, you know what? I don't believe she really, I did. Y'all know I'm out the box. Y'all know I'm out the box with this, but y'all not using common sense. Use it. I keep telling people, you want to know about a woman's broken heart and what a broken heart will do to you? You better look at the movie Moana. When you look at that Moana, when that man stole her heart, she became an instant nasty volcano. And she was like, until I get my heart back, I'm taking all your fish and I'm killing all your lands.
Fatal attraction.
But until that little girl walked across the water and gave her heart back and said, I know who you really are. And what happened? She instantly gave up the evilness and went back to sleep. Don't you wake a woman up if you're not going to. If you don't believe more about that, you need to know more about that. I'm going to use this commercial break and say you better tune in on Wednesday and watch us on Sister at the Sister Chat, how to wear your crown and know your worth. Sisters, we got to learn our worth because our men is going to need us more than ever right now because our men is going to have to take a stand. And when our men take a stand, they're going to need us to be in our place. They're going to need us to know our roles. We're going to have to open up our gifts and use what we have to use in order to back our men. If you don't believe and you're not empowered as a woman to make a movement such as this, I need you to go back into your history book since you didn't learn it in elementary school. And some of you didn't make it to college to remember. The world was messed up and the men had to go to war, but it was the women that came back that had to run it until they came home. It was us. We had to come and do what we needed to do. So let me tell you, sisters, it doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't really matter at this point how you feel about a man, but you need to know your place about where you are. And that's when we got to sit down. When our men go out there, we should be praying. We shouldn't be sitting there where he at, wonder where, when his arm is behind is not home. What the Juanita Bynum said, when your man not home, you're on your knees praying. And when he come home, you get up off your knees and you start getting on your knees for him. There's the two different knees we're talking about here. We talk about the N-E-E-D-S and the K-N-E-E-E. Look, some of y'all may not agree, but you know my favorite saying. It's just my opinion. It's not necessarily your fact. But I'm treating it like a smorgasbord. Eat from it if you like it. If you don't, hey, no problem. But you can't say I didn't say it. You can't say you don't know because you got it straight from the BSDUO. I'm just saying.
You know what? That's you said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. And getting back to how we started this show on Instagram, you remember a conversation I had talking about man and woman. You remember that, sister, real well, okay? I think I said something about, and someone had texted me, a friend of mine had texted me later on about this. I talked about Adam and Eve. I talked about how Adam was the ruler. He was this, he was that. Then came Eve. Eve came, and it was different. I broke it down, and I broke it down nicely. I was a little in the spirits, but I broke it down, and people laughed. But yeah, but you took me in my spirit, and toast to you too. You took me in my spirit, right? And you transcribed everything I said. You said, you know what, brother? That is absolutely right. Yeah. But you know what? The woman had to step up. The woman had to do this. The woman had to do that. And the woman is still doing that today. I said, oh, whoa. Someone said, and I don't know, maybe a woman did say this, but someone put this on social media. When God came down and had to punish Adam for disobeying, not doing what he's supposed to do, he did Adam first.
Right.
And then he went to Eve. He said, Eve, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. I'm going to punish you too. Da 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 da. Someone put on social media, said that Eve looked God right in the eye and said, you know what? No matter how you shake or break me, I'm still going to survive. So do what you got to do. I'm still going to be here. And with that being said, women, when men leave you, women, I'll say it again, when men leave you, when women are fairly treated, when women are not afforded the same opportunities as men,
wait,
I will say what I have seen women do. You will look at whatever the situation is in the eye and say, do what you got to do. I'm still going to be here. So when that person put that on social media, I said, damn. Eve looked at God in his eye and said, do what you got to do.
I don't believe
I'm
that.
still going to be here.
I'm sorry. I don't care with no
Shauna,
say.
are
I'm
you still
sorry.
here?
No. Let me tell you why I don't believe that.
Are you still here? Wait a minute. I didn't say I believed it. Someone put, listen to me.
The stuff that people create, if only they knew.
Right. But listen. I know you're very religious, and you know I'm getting back into it, so forgive me. But just take it out.
I get it. I get the concept of it. I just don't agree with the concept of how it was done.
I understand.
I don't believe if I was to rewrite that, or if I was to reenact that, am I doing it right, Kim? If I was to reenact that, do a little Jill and Erica type of situation, I would say, I don't believe she looked at God and said that. I believe she turned to Adam and said, I guess he has to do what he has to do, Adam. But you know what, baby? We're going to survive. Now, that is what I believe was said.
Like I said, someone put that on there because, first of all, we ain't going to look God in his eye and say, do what you got to do. Because he could do like this and you like,
boom.
Okay? So she did probably look at Adam just like the women today. Baby.
I turned to him and said, baby.
We're going to do what we got to do.
He had
he
had to do.
I'm going to throw this out there, and we about to wind up, but I'm going to throw this out there to, the boss, Miss Wilson, you, and any woman, Tez, any woman that is watching, Catherine
Come
Young.
on, women, all you women out there, throw me a thumbs up so we know who you are. Throw me a thumbs up, women. Come on,
I'm throwing this out there to y'all right now.
I need y'all to post it in your comments. Give me a thumb. Give me a thumb.
I want to say this right now.
Right now.
Women
have
been through a whole hell of a lot. And I'm saying this as a man. We men have not been fair to y'all. We men have not treated you always like the queens that y'all are. But one thing, I've even seen it in my own family, my own mother and father. Sometimes my father was not always good. But one thing, and I've seen this all around, women will stand and do what they got to do. There's guys, wait, here's a conversation. Baby, I'm pregnant. Oh, well, I ain't ready to be no dad. I'm out. Well, who's still raising that child to be the person that it is? The mother. Who is on that table when you can't deliver the baby naturally, but you have to do a C-section? The mother. Who is the one that's getting that phone call at the middle of the night? Hey, we got to talk to you about your son. The mother.
You better pray.
We dads, the responsible dads.
Woo!
We are there tooth and nail sometimes. But men, come on. You know when sometimes shit get to the left, we be like, fuck that. Let that nigga stay out there. I know I was the victim of that myself. Then I went to the left. My dad said, nah, let him stay out there. My mom said, no, I'm not doing that. He's our son, and we're going to do what we got to do. So when women out there say, no, I'm not giving up on you, treasure and honor your mother. Respect your dad too, yes. But it's the mothers, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. I grew up with two parents. Don't mean shit. My dad had to work 12 hours a day. Sometimes I didn't see my dad in 2 days. He did overtime after overtime after overtime after overtime. But when I woke up in the morning, who did I see? Hi, Mom. Who when I came home from school? Hi, Mom. Who the teachers talk to? Hi, Mom. Who came to get me out of Holmesburg? Well, I ain't mentioning that, but who got me out of trouble? Hi, Mom and Grandma. So remember that, young generation today, even if you're raised with your mother or your father, respect your mother. Even if your mother don't live in the same house, you live with dad or whatever, your mother will always be the one for you. Yes, she gonna kick your ass, especially if she's a black mother, because she ain't taking no shit off of you. But one thing you better understand, your mother got your back. And if you ever cross your mother, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to take the filter off. You're fucked. Remember that. In this conversation, take it over.
I'm sorry to say, I agree with my brother here. I have to agree because when you have no cheerleader, when you have no friend, when you have nowhere else to go, when you have nothing else to do, that's usually who you run to. I'm just saying. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you're a female or if you're a male. But you know, this is the one thing I used to always say, and maybe one day somebody might understand completely. I'll use it as what we used or what I used as a demonstration when we talked about the sister chat. We're like a pretty rose. And if you ever see a rose, it's beautiful on the outside. It looks beautiful. But when you smell it, it stinks. So I say this to women. Sometimes we get funky. Yes, we do. We get real funky. Our spirits, our characters, our attitudes, we do. But on the outside, we're just beautiful roses. So we're not going to sit here and say that we got all our stuff together. And no, I'm not going to sit there and say that it's always mommy that's there, because sometimes daddies are there. But it depends on the culture that you come from, that mommy and daddy may not have been there. And that's probably why you haven't experienced both of them being there. Like I try to explain to my children, you can't expect both parents to act accordingly where they both were not trained the same way. Where he came from was not where I came from. Where I came from was not where he came from. So if my love is differently shown than his is, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It just means he loves you differently. Or maybe he don't know how to love you because love was never taught in his culture. But I going right back to this pretty rose. Sometimes a rose is pretty once you spray some fragrance on it. But like my grandma said, just because you spray some perfume over funk, it doesn't mean it clears the air. So I go to say this. We're not either one perfect. We're not either one got it all together, but we work together. I can never understand, after being a woman myself and watching the pain that a woman goes through in bearing a child. Yes, it was our curse. But even though it was our curse, to see a woman on that table almost lose her life to have a child, and some has lost a child during childbearing. Everything that a woman's body have to go through, having this little thing grow inside of you to reach a point where it has to come out of you. How can you walk away from that woman and call that woman all kinds of names and think that woman ain't worth nothing? Do you know what that woman just went through that you just call, oh, that's just my baby mom? No respect. You ain't got to like me. You don't even have to love me. But respect what I did push out that's between me and you. As a matter of fact, I think R. Kelly said it best. We're now a family. Blood and blood has been mixed and made one. Why don't we get that? We don't have to be arch rivals. So I say to us, not just of color, but all of us, it's time for us to stop being rivals at this point. It's time for us to band together as one. Martin Luther King had a dream. I believe it's time for that dream to wake up and become a reality, where we all can put our hands together and walk as one and make a movement. It's time. We got to clean house. We got to go and clean house. It's called a White House. We got to go clean house. We got to go get some disinfectant, and we got to go in that place, and we got to make it spotless. Now, if the next person get in there, I'm not going to tell you he's not going to be perfect, but he's going to be better than what we're dealing with. But I'm also going to sit there and say, I appreciate 45. Some of y'all just dropped y'all wine. Let me tell you why I appreciate 45. Because 45 came to wake us all up and say, we got to get together and do the dang thing. It was a bad thing that happened and making it a good situation, because now we're sitting here in quarantine. We mad about it. And now we got to talk about it. So now we're talking about it. When the door's open, can I ask you a question? Are you ready to be about it? Or are you going to still sit with the door closed? Are you going to still
Be
sit with
about
the door
their
closed?
life. Be about their life.
Because I'm telling you, I'm going to be pushing behind every man that needs to do what needs to do. And I'm going to be pushing and standing beside every woman that has to stand by a man and push. And guess what? If it has to be a woman that's going to have to push, then so be it. Let her push, because her mouth is big enough. Let her push so we can open up our arms and let y'all in. Let y'all move in and do what you got to do. Because what did we do? We took care of home while you went out and did what you had to do. And then when you came home, we took care of you. Sometimes we didn't get taken care of, but we took care and got taken care of because we found comfort in knowing we was taking care of home. And that's what made us feel good. It's nothing like going home, cleaning house, and sitting back and putting your feet up and looking at a clean house and going, now that's nice. It's nothing like it.
No.
It's nothing like it. So I propose a challenge to each and every one of you. I dare you. I dare you. I double dare you to pass this video. Not because we want to be known, not because we want to be seen, but because we just sent you enough information to make a movement among all. I dare you to pass this video so that somebody can be empowered to say, you know what? They are right. It's time for us to be tired of saying we're tired and do something about it. It's time that people need to understand. Don't let nobody, as Kim said, brainwash you into believing what is not. Because when you step on poop, whether it's dry or not, when you kick that sucker, it stink. And I'm tired of this funky funk all up in here. The only funk I want is some funky music. That's it.
Funky music?
And that's all I got for tonight.
Funky music?
Funky music? The only music I want to hear. That's the only funk I want. It's some funky music. But other than that, we need to get it together.
What about funky love?
Funky love will work. Anything that's funky. But I'm trying to tell you, I don't want no funk from 45. I want us to funk him right on up. That's what I want. We want to funk you right on up. We're going to funk you right on up. We're going to vote funk you right on up. We're going to funk you right on up.
And let me throw this to the people that's all they doing. Oh yeah, you got me doing this. let me throw this out to people. For all those out there that's watching the DVDs and all that, like my sister said, spread this. Spread this because it's important. Spread it. Because everything that she said and I said is unfiltered and it's the truth. Okay? It came from here. It didn't came from just talking. Spread this video. Thank you, Kim Wilson, for coming on board. You're going to be a beautiful addition to Sister Chat. And for all those women out there that's just tuning in, Sister Chat, it's real deep. Okay?
Go ahead. Keep talking, brother. Keep talking.
Oh. I know. I just had to get in my mood for a second. And for all those who want to still look at the DVDs, I got some classic joints for you. Sister, are you ready for this?
Yes.
For all those, if you want to do something for the kids, give your kids a real cartoon. Jackson 5. I got the whole thing right here. Jackson 5. Okay? Your nephew saw this and he's going crazy, okay?
I dare you to put some real music in your kids' hand on education, and they definitely will be, yeah.
Who ate the potato salad? Check it out.
Did you really put that up there?
Do the right thing. Do the what? The right thing. Yeah, I'll put this up. For all those people who want to be in power so much and want to be so vicious, check out Dallas. Okay? You want to be like him? You want to be like him? Go ahead, knock yourself out. Or if you just want some family fun, check out what's happening. All right? So I just had to throw that up there. But yes, please spread this video. The No BS Duo Show. Yes, the No BS Duo Show starring Shauna Williams, Will Frazier, and Sister Chat with the beautiful, elegant Miss Kim Wilson.
Wait a minute. And if you want to fall back to some old school, bring it back. That's gonna be Sunday night. Bring it back, Sunday night. Oh, excuse me. I would like to let you know that this show was brought to you by Cranberry and Mango in a beautiful glass.
Cheers.
Cheers.
At Sunday night, taking back, everybody. Sunday night, taking back.
9 o'clock. And you know
9
what?
o'clock.
We may not be the oldie show that they talk about on the radio, but we are definitely the only oldies streamlined.
What oldie show is that they got going on? Some station, I don't know.
But that's all right, because I know what's going on our station. So we'll see
you
tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And Sister Chat, 5 o'clock, and we be on time.
I got a present for you. While we fade out, you just brought the inspiration back to me. My hands is moving. And what was that song? We want to funk you right on up. We want to funk you right on up.
I'm going to sing a lesson.
You know what?
Because that note he keep hitting just don't be hitting, man. It just don't be hitting. It be hitting.
Sis, I want you to dance, okay? Show these people how good you can dance. Now I'm gonna do it right now. Show them how you can dance, sis. Show them how you can dance. I mean, can you do that for me?
Got time for them.
Can you do that for me?
I don't know. We'll see if you can give me. We can see if I can give my chair a lap dance. Let's see if you can give me some music to give my chair a lap dance. Let's see.
Okay. You said funky right on up.
Let's see.
I'm gonna turn this up.
Because I don't want all the funky stuff. Only funk I want is my music. So I need y'all to get out there and vote. Vote. We want to funk him right on up. And
guess what?
Vote. Y'all see that?
This is for you.
V-Life. Vote. V-Life. Vote.
V-Life, vote? Did you say V-Life, vote?
We need a V-Life vote.
V-Life, vote.
Be about that life and vote.
Okay, got you. Won't you get up and dance? Here we go. Go ahead, kick it.
We need to go. This is the new anthem. We're going to be going to the voters booth like this.
You better vote.
Go to the vote booth just like this. And people are like, what they dancing about? What's the hit about? I want y'all all to turn the volume up, and we want to say this.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
We're gonna vote for you.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Give us the name.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Give it up. Hey.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on.
Before I go, you better start rapping. Here we go. Start rapping.
I know. I say get up, 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 get up. Back down.
After you vote.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Right now, get on up.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. I say get up, 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 get up. Back down.
After you vote.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. Over there, you better get up out of your chair.
Get up!
Work your body down. Go down, go down, go down. Right on on up, we're gonna vote.
This how you want to get him out the White House.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up, right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up,
Get him out the White House.
right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. Say, get up, 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 back down.
After you vote.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up. Say, get up, 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 back down.
After you vote.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Hey.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Hey.
Over there, you look as if you don't care. But sit right there, you take out your gun. The moment's trying to vote you.
Yeah.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
You better vote.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Yeah.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
White House.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
What'd you say?
Get up, 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 get up. Back down.
That's it.
Right on up, we're gonna vote. Right on up.
Sis,
Yes. I feel
they
nice
don't,
now.
they don't know nothing about this. They need to get their ass up. They need to vote.
Vote.
We need to get this clown out of office.
And you get up and you sit back down after you vote. But for right now, you better be about that V life and vote.
Yes. So anything you want to say before we fade to black?
I think we've covered it all.
One more thing. Anniversary, 1 month anniversary. It's my pleasure working with you. I love
It's my
it.
pleasure working with you.
Me and you are the only two people in our family that, and we got some people in our family that we ain't gonna mention, but we already know what the dynamic is. We already know what time it is. All right. Let's not cross the highways. We don't cross each other's highways. When you coming down that street, I get right the hell over there. When I'm coming down the street, you get right the hell over there. Thank you. 1 month. Thank you. 1 month anniversary, Miss Wilson. See you on Wednesday. Miss Juanisa, thank you. Tracy Smith, Stilettos, Don DaCosta, Jimmy Merchant, thank you all. Ted, I love you, my brother. Thank you, everybody behind the scenes. Oh, and Tazona Dunston, thank you for that. I bet definitely you will hear it on Wednesday again. Thank you. All right. So that's all I got to say. All right.
So introducing a new song for the Sister chat, and as well as we will be having Miss Sharon Moyer this Wednesday at 5 o'clock. If you thought this was hot, if you thought last week was hot, wait till you see the topic for this Friday. Who and why?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Who and why are you doing what you're doing for the purpose that you thought was right for doing it?
Wow. I would tune in if I was you. I would tune in. I would tune in. All right.
You gotta fix that crown, fix that crown, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. And guess what? Men wear crowns too. So yes, Ted, we praying for you. We love you. We're loving and praying for everybody, especially you, the essentials. Know that we love you and we still appreciate everything that you do and what you're doing. Why is he voguing over there? He made me sick. Really? Are you really doing this right now? He gets on my nerves every time with the nonsense. Are you really doing this? On that note, y'all, you know what? Seriously, on that note, I don't know what else to say, y'all. I really don't, because that one right there, I don't know about him. I just don't know.
I love you, sis.
No, I don't. Are you voguing? Like, seriously, are you taking this time to vogue?
Well, I was going to change my name starting with a D. I was going to change my name. You want me to keep it at Will?
You know what? Do you really want to piss me off? You don't want to piss me off. You don't want to do that. Why would you want to do that? You know what? You're so irking. Like, really? Really? You gonna do that to me? Like right now? You really gonna do
I'm
that
gonna
to
change
me?
my name to Will X. How's that?
Can you come up with something original?
Okay. I'm gonna change my name to May 2020.
I just don't know what to do with you. I have no idea what to do with you.
Well, the people that's online is like looking like I'm crazy as shit, and so are you for putting up with this crazy ass. But that's okay.
Yeah,
Hey, Erica.
you know what? I agree. You know what? Can y'all all just tell Will good night? Just tell him good night. Just tell him good night. Just say goodbye. Good night, sweetheart. You're just so arrogant. Did you really start invoking? He really started invoking.
Come on, give me the toast me.
I don't know if I want to toast you.
Toast me.
Really? I don't really hate to leave you. I really want to go. Yeah, good night, Will. Say good night, y'all. Say good night to Will, y'all. Will's past his bedtime.
Oh.
Yeah, it's past your bedtime, Will. Amy,
I'm sleeping downstairs because of you. I'm sleeping downstairs because of you.
You come get him? Like, really?
Uh-oh, she coming now. All right, y'all. Bye, I gotta go. See ya. Because here she come. Bye. See you tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Can y'all say goodbye to Will, please? Can y'all just say goodbye? Just tell him.
Shauna, take it home. I'm out. Bye.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.
Well, y'all.
Good night, sweetheart.
That's my brother. What can I say? You just can't pick him. But I'm glad I can. Because I really do love him. My stinking muffin big brother. So on that note, y'all, good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night.